Hello and welcome to the Gfinity Elite Series presented by Alienware. Ash, it is Street Fighter V time again. How good was last week?
It was so awesome, and it was great to see the return of our favourite players and also some new ones making their debut. And this competition is really heating up, and the gameplay is extraordinary.
Yeah, there were a few tense moments in all the matches last week as the fancy teams were put to the task, but the cream always rises to the top and the gun players really came through. Now, if you didn't catch week one, here's what you missed out on.
Sydney Raw, we definitely knew we were going to win, which is why I played like an absolute nut.
Now, because he's gone for that V reversal. That's right. And there he goes, spends it again.
There was like no thought process throughout my entire game plan. I was doing like dash up, bullhorn,
Great life though on Birdie.
regular dolphin dives, so I was basically just memeing on the kid. That's pretty much how much, I guess, value he's playing.
This could be it, Tom. Oh, great tech. One more hit. Tom, I can't believe it. That is it.
Didn't even need an overhead roll. Getting that first win over him, especially knowing how strong of a player he is, was like a really, big achievement for me, and that really made my week for this week.
BK Simon's in trouble. This is anyone's game now. BK blocking, and that's it. Sio with a surprise upset against PK Sama. Oh my goodness. ZG, he's got to make one thing happen or he's going to take out Robs now. No activation. He doesn't have activation. Just the overhead. ZG takes it for the Sydney Chiefs. Throws him out of the roundhouse. Is that going to be it? And there it is. And that Sydney Chiefs takes it over Perth Ground Zero.
You feeling good this season?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling really good. Glad we get to play Brisbane. They've got some great players. They've got some players.
To start the season off by beating the easiest team in the competition.
It's a jump over. Oh, the Taunts! Game one of the wash. Wow. Panda with the play.
Panda was definitely strong. He knew the matchup. Took it too fast.
He dropped the combo. But he got it anyway. Don't worry about it. Going on? And Robbie looking a little bit confused there about which side that went. Well, that's bad, and he was waiting for that. And he's going to get the critical out of that. Is that going to land? That is it. GG. Space Ghost taking it convincingly.
He just didn't get to play, really, so that was cool.
Maximum President is ready. He might not get to use it. On the wrong way. I think he thought that was going to be a cross-up, Tom. Make sure he's going to pay for that. He's not dead just yet. He's got one guess left. Oh, and the shimmy to close it out. That is it. Melbourne About has taken it 4-1.
Yeah, it's a big week one, a lot of awesome Street Fighter action. And back this week is our wonderful analyst, Krishna. Huge round of applause for Krishna, guys. Give it up. Great to have you back, dude. A lot of action week one. Were you pumped to be part of the team?
Yeah. I feel like I've grown into the spot now. Now all the week one nerves are out of the way. Let's move on to week two.
Great, man. Are you excited for some big matchups this week?
I'm especially excited for our second round matchup that's going to happen today, which is going to be Raw versus Ground Zero. I just reminded myself. We're going to get into that one a little bit later on, but
yeah,
that's the one.
Exciting. Now, last week was very exciting in particular because we saw a G mirror for the first time for this character. We saw them coming up against each other. Two Gs taking each other on.
Yes, Wild Llama winning the election in that case. It was absolutely fantastic to watch. I don't think that's going to be the last time we're going to see him Case for sure, though. I know he did perform as well as he might have wanted to that week, but I'm definitely hoping to see him back here throughout this season.
Well, of course, calling all the action again for us this week, you have the wonderful Alex and Tom, and chilling out with them right now is Ash. Over to you guys.
Thanks, Luke. Yeah, we're just chilling out here, guys. I'm so pumped. Week two. Let's do it. What are you pumped for?
Well, we've got a great show this week, Ash. We've got ROF is here, Travis is here, we've got Rups back again, the God Emperor and Protector of our Mika outside of Japan. And also we've got a new player making his Gfinity debut, Chopper, the Abigail main from New Zealand, I believe, Tom.
Yes, he is. And on that topic of new players, I think that's what I'm most excited about is the new faces and new places. We're seeing a bunch of guys who either didn't play last season or were sort of stuck in the background a little bit, getting to show their talents. And I'm really excited to see these new guys play, Ash.
Yeah, it's awesome. ROF was at it again in their first matchup, even at the top of the stairs. Check this out.
It's the Melbourne Order. Make some noise. Oh, some booing for Bug, Travis Styles, and ROF.
Thanks.
Feel free to take it. Yep, no worries.
Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Gfinity.
Anyway, yeah, no, go on, guys.
Or should I say Season 2 of the Order series, actually, because this is actually Order show. nobody else's show. Let's be real. And oh, okay, yes. And so what's going to basically be happening is whether you want to see us win or lose, you're here for a reason. And the reason being is us winning, no matter what. And sorry for these guys, but they're just not going to be able to do anything.
Oh, ROF. But did anyone else see Travis Styles' bum bag? What was it, the bum bag? I loved it. But do you guys think it actually is going to be the order show? I mean, they won last season, but is that going to happen again?
I have it on good authority from the Sydney Chiefs that they've made it crystal clear they do not want to see Melbourne Order take the Gfinity Elite Series again this season.
Yeah, I think, but it's not just the Chiefs. I think everybody's gotten better. Order is still a very strong side, but we've seen like the Deceptors, Raw, Ground Zero, Avant. Everybody has stepped up a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a very tight run to the grand final.
It's always such a great time, and my magic moment from last week was CO's pop-off after beating BK Sama, who is regarded as one of the top 4 players in Australia.
Like, look at that corner pressure
That's
there.
a great sweep, but look at this block here from Sio. Fantastic block. And BK Summer just out of the corner straight away with that EX knee dive. And it looks like Sio was on the way out here, but then BK just missing his meaty pressure there and giving Sio the opportunity to pop his own V-trigger. And look at that. And that is the name of the game against Ibuki. You block, you die. You tech, you die. You jump, you die. You just die.
Yeah, I think that's just how Ibuki works. It's just sadness central, you know.
See, I just love the emotion. That's one of my most favourite things about Street Fighter V and this whole competition. It's so awesome. And remember, guys, we've partnered with Incent to reward you for watching the Gfinity Elite Series. During each match, keep an eye out for a drop code that'll appear on the bottom of your screen. When you see it, jump on the website gfinity.incentloyalty.com for all the details on how to earn some currency. That's it from us. Back to you, Luke.
Thanks very much, Ash, Tom and Alex. Let's have a look at the schedule this week. This is the team matchups and how it's going to play out. So first up, we have Melbourne Avant taking on Sydney Chiefs. Then we have Sydney Raw going up against Ground Zero. And of course, bringing it home, we have the reigning champions, the Bad Boys, Melbourne Order, going up against crowd favourites so far this weekend, Brisbane Deceptors. Now, last week, yeah, why not? Make a commit, guys. Full round of applause. Now, last week, there were a few first-timers on the Gfinity Elite Series stage, and it can be quite daunting out here in front of the cameras, lights, and audience. Here's what they had to say after last week's initiation.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. It was nothing like I could have expected. Like, once I was up there, I was really nervous going into it, but once I was in there, I was in my zone, and all the nerves went away, and I could just have fun and play my game.
First time Gfinity, the production was kind of a spin out at first. It's very, very scheduled, and it's really professional. So that was really cool to see. You know, it was a fun experience. In terms of the game, it felt pretty much the same in terms of gameplay wise, but I'm definitely keen to keep coming back every week.
This is my first week playing in the Elite Series, and I was pretty nervous going into it, but on the day, I'd say I went into it with confidence, but I went into it, it was an unknown, unknown commodity. I just went up on the stage, gave it my best shot, and I was really excited, really pumped, and happy that I've been here.
Awesome stuff. Here's the roster for week 2 for Melbourne Avant. They're coming in with an unchanged side of Space Ghost, a Wild Llama, and their in-form captain, Rumours of Ghost. Talk me through this lineup, Krishna.
I think if anything we proved from last week, it's that Rumours does not have to carry as an anchor this season. Last season, all the gamers went to 4-3, 4-3, 4-3, but this time, Space Ghost looking in incredible form against that match against Kaysira. And also Llama, I was worried a little bit. New controller, new character, no nerves sweated. He's absolutely ready for this series.
Yeah, well, they're coming up against the mighty Sydney Chiefs, but they've got to change side this week. They've got BK Sama and ZG have travelled to Paris. Sorry, rather, BK Sama and ZG have gone. They're out. They're in Paris for a world tournament, and their replacements are the Big Chopper and Shenkin, along with their captain, the Grandmaster Somniac. Does this make them weaker?
It does make them weaker, but if you have Shenkan and Chopper as your substitute players, then you're not a weak side at all, for sure. In fact, Shenkan's probably one of my personal favourite players to see, because he plays exactly the style I like to play myself. They're really patient, really reactive style, waiting for you to commit to a mistake and then punishing you for it. That's what I'm excited to see. Chopper, I'm a little bit of an unknown for, because during the draft, he was really strong early on, but in the later weeks, he was kind of falling off a little bit in the bracket. So I'm interested to see what version of Chopper's going to show up today. Is it the big, strong Abigail that we know, or is it going to be people who figured him out a little bit too much? I can't wait to see how he's going to perform.
Well, there's some explosive matchups about to happen. Let's get the teams out here. So, ladies and gentlemen, please go absolutely nuts for Melbourne Avant! Space Ghost, a Wild Llama, and Rumours of Ghosts. And taking them on, go nuts for the hometown heroes, the Sydney Chiefs. The Big Chopper, Schenken and Somniac. G'day, man. How you doing? Yeah, good to see you. Nice to see you. Always nice. Now, are you feeling confident up against these guys? Yeah, look, oh, I should have a microphone to talk to you. I just realised this is going to be weird. Like, everyone's just going to see you going, thanks so much. Look at that. I'm not used to having a Madonna headset. It's from my dance moves coming later in the show. Anyway, yes. So tell me, you're pumped to take them on.
Yeah, no, it's like, there's the people got the Chief and the other two here. Like, so it should be a fun game.
He loves throwing shade, doesn't he?
They're not ready for these big guns.
Really? Are you confident? You're confident with yourselves?
They haven't been practicing for these guys. These guys have been practicing for them.
Ooh, okay, that's enough smack talk. Let's check out the matchups. They're on the screen behind us, lads. Let's have a look. Roll the first matchup, guys. Who we got? Bring it on. Drop it. The tension. It's Rumours of Ghost going up against the Big Chopper. What's coming up number 2? We have Space Ghost versus Shen Khan after that. We have a Wild Llama and Somniac. Number 4 matchup. Ooh, Rumours of Ghost and Somniac. Let's stop for a sec. I want to talk. So, let's see the next one. No, I'd rather keep going, actually. That was me. A Wild Llama versus Schenken. What's the next matchup? Keep going. No, I don't have a lot of control here, guys. Here we go. Space Ghost versus the Big Chopper. And the final matchup is Rumours of Ghost and Somniac again. I mean, are you feeling confident going up against Somniac, dude? Surely he's the one guy who can take you down.
I mean, like, after last season, how could we definitely run a games? You know, it should be fine.
Yeah, all right. And what about, are you going to wipe the floor with this little chap here? So as soon as the words came out my mouth, I went, I should have said little. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be... That's accidental shade by me, if anything. I'm sorry. You know what, mate. Anyway, are you feeling confident?
Well, I got lots of respect for Mr. Gfinity, but I think we can take him down.
All right, well, that's enough. Get out of here, guys. Give him a round of applause. As they get in the zone, don't go anywhere. Match 1, Gfinity Elite Series Street Fighter 5. Back after this.
Coming up, Melbourne Avant go head-to-head with Sydney Chiefs.
The Chiefs are the Chiefs, and they've got a solid lineup all the way through to their subs. We can't afford to get complacent, I think. And especially with Som at the helm, it's just a strong team in general. It's just always going to be.
We have 3 really strong subs, and I've mentored one. BK has also mentored another one, and even Som overall has mentored all 3 of them at one point. So we're definitely gonna pump all our knowledge and game strategies into them, and yeah, I believe in them. They'll do fine.
Street Fighter 5, brought to you by Dare Iced Coffee and Astro Headsets.
Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.
Let's make it Jack.
Drink it through with Dare Iced Coffee.
3 days ago, Coda announced that Zero would join Cell 7 in the upcoming Soma Worlds tournament. After so many league victories, switching teams this close to the tournament appears to be a deliberate move to destroy Coda's chance at the title.
Welcome back to the Gfinity Elite Series. We're almost ready to kick off match 1, but before that, our Street Fighter players are always looking to get an advantage, even in tiny increments, and that's just what a Wild Llama has done with his bespoke fighter box. Check it out.
Oh, look at it. Made it just for Gfinity, and look at it. Got a plank of wood from Bunnings, drilled some holes, and put some buttons, and there you go. You know, you want it. Cheap box of the century. Buy one now. It works wonders.
Wild Llama doing some weird faces there. I feel uncomfortable. Hey, we're about to get into our first match of the day. Chris, did you have a feeling which way this is going to go?
I'm a little picky. I want to say Chiefs, because I know Somniac can play the anchor for this team, and that's a really nice thing to have.
But Rumors of Ghosts and Space Ghost was so hot last week.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how that second game goes, especially Shenkan versus Space Ghost, because I know we've seen Shenkan last season when Ken and Zeku. I don't think he'll play either of those characters against Space Ghost. I'm wondering if he's going to maybe choose the Guile Mirror. We'll have to see.
Do you have a call, though? I'm going to push you for a call. Who do you think is going to take it?
I just changed my mind. I'm going to go Avant.
You're going to go Avant?
Yep.
Do you have an idea of the scoreline?
4-3.
4-3 to Avant. We will see. It's time to get into our first match of week 2 of the Gfinity Elite Series. Over to you, Tom and Alex. It's time to fight.
Thank you, Luke. Live from the Hoyt's Gfinity Esports Arena in Sydney, Australia. It's game day as we kick off week 2 of the Gfinity Elite Series for Street Fighter V. Hi, I'm Alex Hart. I'm here with Tom Scott. Tom, Melbourne Avant versus the Sydney Chiefs. No normies allowed, and all our players are powered by the finest chicken tendies. What are you thinking?
Well, both of these teams both had very strong openings last season with convincing wins at 4-2 and 4-1 apiece. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two come at each other with a lot of momentum going forwards. Now, Chiefs do have the subs, and that is a big factor. However, Chopper is considered one of the stronger players in New Zealand, but handedly so, and he plays a very explosive character in Abigail.
I'm looking forward to this, Tom.
Yeah, I am too. I think Abigail's going to be a lot of fun. We haven't seen much of him here at the Elite Series, so I think that's going to be a good surprise for all you folks at home to get a good chunk of some Abigail action.
That's right, and Rumors likes to play, I think the only word is super lame, but he's going to have his work cut out for him here against a big Chopper who plays a very aggressive Abigail, and by nature, Abigail players are aggressive. Let's get into it. Game number 1, and here we go. Both players are locked in. Melbourne Avant versus the Sydney Chiefs. Game number 1, it's going to be Rumors of Ghosts versus the Big Chopper making his Gfinity debut from New Zealand. And Rumors of Ghosts has got his game face on. Mr. Gfinity himself went 11-1 in Season 1, and here we go into round 1.
It's going to be interesting here. Now, both characters going for their patented UV trigger ones, the usual choice for both. Now, Birdie can sort of lame Abigail out in a way because Abigail has these really long buttons, but so does Birdie. So watch for Rumors to go for his patented patient style and make the Big Chopper force his way in.
All right, both players daring the other to make a commitment here now. About 80 seconds left on the clock. You can see both players have about 1 bar of VX meter here. 75 seconds left. The Big Chopper trying to get in, but Rumors of Ghost caught him a deer in the headlights with that EX Dolphin dive.
Oh, wow. Little jab punish there on the dive.
All right, great jump in from Chopper. Trying to get something started, but unfortunately not far enough. Drops his combo.
This is an interesting start from Chopper. Might be a little bit of nerves on display here, Alex. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, that was a sick little button choice there from Chopper.
Rumors of Ghost perhaps getting a little bit frustrated there. Just lets the EX headbutt go. All right, I like the anti-air there from the Big Chopper. He's got the life lead on Rumors of Ghost. Big roll, but a fantastic neutral jump
combo. This is huge. Oh, and then another drop from Chopper.
Okay, here comes the Big Chopper. Here comes the V-trigger activation. It's not going to be enough. He's got one more guess after this. Rumors of Ghost is in trouble. He's going to back off.
This is bad now. Abigail has big, long buttons. Watch for that crowd. Oh, my lord.
He's got the can down. Rumors of Ghost trying to make it work here. 30 seconds left on the clock.
Oh,
that's the Dolphin dive, but he overcommitted and it goes over. Round 1 to the Sydney Chiefs and the Big Chopper.
What a strong showcase from Chopper. He was outlaming Mr. Gfinity himself.
I never thought I'd see the day, Tom. All right, let's get into it. Round number 2. Open the aggression now from the Big Chopper. Moving.
Oh, uses that armor, but it doesn't quite work out. And then Rumors missing another punish. This is very uncharacteristic.
And Rumors of Ghost is trying to keep that space in the neutral open with that standing medium punch and that crouching light punch. It's so ferocious. Again with the EX Dolphin dive. That's the second time he's caught the Big Chopper with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect going on here from these two players. You can see that they both are respecting each other's games, which is interesting because usually you see Birdie players have a very disrespectful style. But here comes
Chopper. All right, here's the big command grab. Rumors of Ghost is in trouble, but it's going to be huge damage.
Look at that.
He's going to finish with the Abigail punch. He's going to get rewarded with the corner now. What's it going to be on Wake Up? Goes for the late frame track. Rumors doesn't quite.
Blockable.
Oh, this is going to hurt. There's going to be big scaling on this. We could see a stun early on, Tom. Oh, and he's done it. Is that it for the big Chopper? Is he going to take it?
And Chopper takes it in convincing fashion over Mr. Gfinity himself. 2 straight rounds to the Abigail player. What a strong showcase.
What a debut from the big Chopper for the Sydney Chiefs, Tom. I like it.
Wow, that was nuts. That was so sick. I haven't actually seen Chopper's Abigail in action a lot, and I'm super impressed, Alex.
All right, and Mr. 11-1, he went 11-1 in Season 1, and he's taken him down the first game at his first day at the Gfinity Elite Series. Let's have a look at some replays now. That was a fantastic match, but 2 straight rounds for the big Chopper, making a big debut, comes storming in here at the Gfinity Elite Series.
There was a lot that I want to talk about in that set there, specifically before we get into it, just talking about Abigail in general. Now, you mentioned yourself that Abigail is usually a very nutty and aggressive character. However, you can play him as a more patient style grappler, which is what we're going to see in these highlights, although we're looking at big damage combos right now. And this right here is Abigail's biggest strength as we pause to look. Look at that red life bar damage there, and it will just keep going. He'll probably get about 2.5 to 3 times that, Alex, and it's just baffling. Look at this damage on the end of this
That's
combo.
right. 2 back half punches into the Abigail fist there at the end, and he's got rewarded with the corner into the charge punch, which he gets from that V trigger.
Look
and
at
look
the
at the stun
damage.
meter and the damage just going down, just destroying Rumors of Ghosts here in the corner. The defense wasn't enough. And the big Chopper just storming through the gates of Gfinity Season 2 with a win on the board for the Sydney Chiefs. Let's get into the next match now. It's going to be Shenkan versus Space Ghost. And Space Ghost returning from Season 1 as well as Shenkan. Now, Shenkan is one of the rare Zeku players we have here at the Gfinity Elite Series. Space Ghost is going to be going with his trademark Guile pick, no doubt. This is a hard match for Shenkan, Tom.
Yeah, it is. And now I know Shenkan has a bag of characters. He likes to play, as Krishna mentioned previously, he likes to play Ken, Zeku, and Guile. So it's going to be interesting to see which he goes for here. He might actually opt for the mirror match, as Krishna mentioned, because I don't think that his favorite character, Zeku, deals with Guile extremely well. So it's going to be an interesting metric here as we look at the character select screen. And no, it looks like he's hovering over Zeku here.
He's thinking about it, Tom. And of course, Space Ghost has got Guile up there on the screen. And it looks like Shenkan is going to go for his trademark Zeku. He's feeling like that is the strongest chance he's got here today against Space Ghost, who had a bit of a rocky start in Season 1 with Guile, but really found his form towards the end. And had some really impressive play. All right, let's get into it. Both players are locked in now. Here we go into game number 2. It's going to be Space Ghost versus Shenkan. Sydney Chiefs are up 1-0 against the Melbourne Avant. And Space Ghost has got his work cut out for him. He's got to beat Shenkan here in straight rounds to take it to 1 game apiece.
Yeah, this
Melbourne
is a very
Avant
important
versus
game.
the Sydney Chiefs. And Space Ghost is deep in concentration here. And Shenkan looking like he knows he's got a bit of an uphill battle here against Guile. He's got the Guile face on.
Shenkan is a very stoic person. That's sort of how he always looks. And I think he fits the playing a character like Zeku well, because Zeku is a very mobile and resourceful character, as he has 2 forms which you will see Shenkan switch between. The old form, which is this one here, which uses sort of a ranging style projectile as main tool, and then the young form, which uses a much more aggressive and pressing style.
That's right. Okay, Space Ghost starting out with his trademark Guile play kick. There's the upside down kick. That's huge damage.
Oh,
just
another
caught
one.
Shenkan teching there, I think. And look at this early stun from Guile, and that is the power. Misses the neutral jump, but it's not going to matter. Shenkan's in deep trouble now. He's in the corner. He's going to finish with the flash kick, and
then a
finally
forward
goes for the throw after 2 upside down kicks. Shenkan didn't
the
want to tech,
overhead.
and there's the overhead to close out round 1.
Man, Guile is such a scary character in Street Fighter V, Alex, because he is that, classic slow zoning style character, but he can turn it on and play so aggressive, as Space Ghost just showcased there.
That's right, and Shenkan has said he is more comfortable as old Zeku. See if he switches to new Zeku in this round here. He's got to make something happen to get some winning up against that last round. Was just such a whitewash by Space Ghost.
There's a young swap. So this is where he's going to start playing a bit more aggressive and try and make Space Ghost react to his actions instead of him reacting to
That's
Space
right.
Ghost.
Oh, that's it. That overhead. That's nasty. Back throw. I like it. Space Ghost down to about 30% now. 73 seconds left on the clock. But
nice
Space
little
Ghost has
air to it.
almost got V-Trigger and full critical art on deck. He's going to unload on Shenkan if he chooses to, or he might choose to save it for next round time.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice here. If Space Ghost can get 1 good hit and then unload on that critical art, he might actually be dead. Oh, run back, bro. That's an unblockable.
Shenkan turning up the volume now, but Space Ghost has got him with the throws. He doesn't want to tech. All right, here comes Space Ghost with the V-Trigger activation. I like that V-reversal. Just get off me, bro. Don't tase me. Unloading with those sonic booms. Shenkan's in trouble. I like the blocking. He's not going to tech, but there it is. He's got one more chance. Wake up buttons, I like it.
That was a gutsy showcase from Shenkan there, and you can see that he can tell that was a do or die moment, Alex, I think. And Shenkan took the route of being aggressive and being the aggressor, and it worked out well for him.
One of those pivotal Street Fighter V moments. You've got to make a commitment about whether you're going to tech, whether you're going to block, whether you're going to press a button. And Shenkan just made the right moment, and he's a big jump in, and this is where Guile gets really screwed up if you can jump over those sonic booms.
Oh my God,
goodness.
stun!
And this comeback from Shenkan. Looks like he's going to take it over Space Ghost, Tom. It's not going to be enough.
Oh, goes for the mix up,
cross up, but unfortunately misses that one. All right, Space Ghost now with a chance. He's in the corner, but he can get out of this. Here comes the V-trigger activation. Big jumping, no anti-air from Shenkan.
Yes, this is a bad time now.
He doesn't go for the upside down kick. It's not going to matter. Shenkan says, I'll just take the throw.
Yeah,
I've got the health
in here. This is now Shenkan has a large life lead, but this is still a scary scenario for him here. Guile is a strong character and can make it.
Oh, I like the flash kick. He's still alive. Goes for the upside down kick, but Shenkan's too early with the wake up buttons once again.
That's it.
Oh, that could be it.
What just happened, Alex?
I don't believe it, Tom. 49 seconds left on the clock. Space Ghost on his last legs. This could be a cross-up.
My God,
Shenkan. Space Ghost opting not to press any buttons, playing very cautiously.
No anti-airs at all from Shenkan.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be the critical hit. Is that going to be enough? I can't speak, Tom. And Space Ghost takes it. My goodness.
Oh, that was an absolute rocker of the game.
Wow. Wow, very well played to Space Ghost. The comeback, it just went back and forth that round. And I honestly thought Shenkan had that one, Tom.
Dude, that was... Now, Space Ghost took that one away, but God, that was such a good display of Street Fighter from both players.
Look at Space Ghost, he's still shell-shocked.
And even Shenkan's just sitting there giggling. Like that was just a great match. I would really like to see a long set from those two at some point in the future, because you could see the two of them looking at each other.
Yeah.
They stopped, looked at each other, panicked, did nothing, and then acted at the same time. It was so exciting.
My goodness, what a ripper of a game, Tom. All right, let's have a look at some highlights here now, and you can see Space Ghost trying to push the offensive. Now you can see the life lead that Shenkan has in this round, and he just can't seem to get in against this relentless offense from Space Ghost. He's using those sonic booms as a shield to get in.
Flash kick reaction was
that
excellent.
Was very good. That autocorrect flash kick. He's been in the lab. You can see he's got that one down.
And then you can see there, Shenkan went for something a little spicy on the anti-air option with Zeku's V-trigger, but it didn't quite work out for him. It ended up costing him, as the lack of anti-airs on Shenkan's part is pretty much the reason why this comeback happened. You can see here, Space Ghost is just jumping a lot, and it put himself in this scenario with a big counter hit heavy kick.
And those wake-up buttons coming back to bite Shenkan there. You can see he just ate that standing heavy kick on wake-up there, and Space Ghost can't believe his luck. The comeback. Well done, sir.
Lord, that was a tight one, Alex. We're 2 games in and I'm already sweating.
We're 2 games in, that's right. And that's the name of the game in Street Fighter V, Tom. The excitement never stops. Let's get into the next game. It's going to be a Wild Llama versus Somniac. Somniac, of course, one of the finest players, if not the strongest player in Australia, alongside ROF. And he's got his work cut out for him here against a Wild Llama. I think he's one of those filthy 16ers who's really, really good at Street Fighter V, Tom.
I don't know.
And he's going with G again as he went from last week.
Well, I mean, the other characters that I know Llama plays is Bison, and he's not going to pick the mirror against Somniac and Urien. And I think he just prefers G's style over Urien's styles, because G is like Urien, but even more aggressive.
Yes, and because he does have Bison as a secondary, he's going to know Somniac's character exceedingly well.
Yes, he is. But he is coming up against the supercomputer here.
The supercomputer himself.
I promise you that Somniac has labbed this matchup and knows all the tech that he needs to know to take out Llama.
All right, Windows update is completed. Somniac's ready to go. The Sydney Chiefs, well, it's 1-1 at the moment, Tom, so both these players are even at the moment.
Yeah, this is a big match. You really want to get that 2-1 lead because it puts the other team up against a wall here. So we watch for an aggressive start from both of these guys. Strong anti-air from Llama, setting out immediately that Bison is not going to be able to jump at him out.
That's right, and a Wild Llama, a lot of neutral jumps here, trying to bait something out of Somniac. Great bunt, great on the Sonic Blast there.
This is just these fat buttons from Llama right now, but Somniac fighting back with big buttons of his own. That is
Psycho Blast, I'm sorry, Psycho Blast for everyone playing along at home. All right, a Wild Llama down about 50% now, 64 seconds left on the clock. Great anti-air on the Devil's Reverse there, I like it.
Yeah, this is nuts. Llama showing that Bison knowledge right now.
All right, there's the trademark V-Trigger, one opener for Bison. Both players popping off their V-Triggers now, and look at this damage now. This is where G excels. Once he pops that V-Trigger, he can get so much damage on the corner. He was ready there for the Devil's Reverse. Som trying it again. He gets out of the corner. Som's in trouble. He's pressing his own buttons now. He's going to go for a straight throw. Llama going to press any buttons. He opts to do nothing. Som going for the frame trap, but Llama doesn't bite.
Oh my lord, this is such a tight game. One hit will kill.
And that is it. The EX head stop, and Llama can't believe he let that one fly.
Yeah, no, well, he was anti-airing that earlier in the round with
It is very hard to anti-air that one.
Yeah, it is, and Llama will be kicking himself here, but he can't let that get to his head. G is a character where you have to just turn on the jets 24/7.
You just got to go for it. All right, he's powering up with that G charge. He's got Somniac in the corner now. He's not happy about that last one from the previous round.
That was not a good punish from Somniac there. That is uncharacteristic, but it doesn't quite matter because Somniac ends up capitalizing anyway.
Great dash back on the Psycho Axe. I like it. He's going to get rewarded with big damage for that.
But he dropped the combo.
That's right. Okay, Som finding himself in the corner now, finding out again. The Wild Llama wants to close this one out and take it to 1 round each. He's got 1 charge on that G charge ready to go. He needs to charge out 1 more time.
This is getting pretty nutty, Alex. This is a bit of a slobber knocker, this one here. These two are just throwing big buttons.
And he's got Llama in the corner. Llama has to be very careful about what buttons he presses. All right, he's out of the corner. Expecting him to try and back off. He's not going to back off. Here comes the V-trigger activation. This could be it.
Oh, he dropped the combo, Alex.
Oh, he's killing frames. Okay, Som just getting out of dodge. He wants to get away. Oh, and he went low. I like it. The dash under, and there it is. 1 round apiece. You've got to be so careful against G. He's got the dash under, the dash over. Which way is it going to be? And just caught Som walking back there, not blocking low. Here we go into round 3. Somniac turning up the volume now. Okay, opts to back off a little bit now. He's done a little bit of opening damage.
Ooh,
and there's that anti-air
from... The Llama's been showcasing really strong anti-airs this game, and I'm really impressed by his anti-air choice. However, both guys here have been dropping a lot of combos, which is unrealistic of them. As I say that, Llama with a great buffer into the G-charge, and now he's at level 2. He is powered up, Alex.
He is powered up, and once he gets to level 3, he becomes really disgusting. Fantastic confirm. Here he comes into the corner. Som doesn't want to press any buttons. He's going to make something happen here. Command grab. It's too low. It's too far away, Tom. Here comes Som with a huge V-trigger activation. He's going to get a lot. Great block from Llama. I like it. It's the online V-trigger. Come back to haunt everybody. Here comes the throw.
Oh, 1 more hit for
Llama's got 1 more again. Great anti-air. Hang on, Tom. This could be it for Som.
Is he dead? Is he dead? Oh,
that is it. Llama takes it over the supercomputer Som and puts the Melbourne Avant up 2-1 over the Sydney Chiefs.
Oh my lord, that was just like picturesque.
Som is not happy with that one, you can tell.
No, I think Llama knows that he scraped by with that one just by just that littlest bit. That combo did just enough damage.
The right amount. The power of G. Maximum president.
I'm really happy. I'm really happy that we're getting a good G showcase in the Elite Series. I think he's a really exciting character for viewers to watch, and he's a really easy character to talk about here because there's a lot of interesting happening as we look here with
Look at this corner pressure from
there's
Somniac
corner pressure
here.
from Somniac, but all G needs is 1 hit because what that does is it activates him into his level 3 mode permanently, which gives him new combo opportunities and massive damage.
Oh, and that was a huge drop there from Llama, but it's not going to matter. He does take this second round here with that surprise dash under. And look at this with command grab here. Gives Somniac the advantage to pop that V-trigger off and really get some damage here on a Wild Llama. Looked like it was all over Red Rover for a Wild Llama. He sits in the corner here. The stun meter is building.
Massive.
1 more hit there and a very brave anti-air. If he was a few frames late with that, Tom, it would have been all over.
No, that was very close. And that was a gutsy anti-air choice from him. Goes for the button, V-trigger activate, and then G doing what he does best at stealing rounds, which you can see on the man's face there himself. He knows that he just played G by the book, which is to say pure and utter robbery, Alex.
Pure and utter robbery and madness. That's the name of the game with G, and the name of the game here at the Gfinity Elite Series. The excitement continues as Melbourne Avant goes up 2-1 over the Sydney Chiefs. And looks like the next game we're going to have Rumours of Ghosts versus Somniac. So Somniac is going to be staying in the hot seat. He's going to go up against Rumours of Ghosts, the Birdie Menace, Mr. Gfinity from Season 1. But before we go to that, that's coming up next. We're going to head across to Luke for the debrief.
My Godfather, what a match. First match of the day. It's been huge. Let's look at the scores so far of how it's played out. This is how it went down. Big upset. Mr. Gfinity himself went down to the Big Chopper on his debut match. Then Space Ghost just pulled through. Couldn't believe it himself, the looks on his face. Took down Shenkin, and then a Wild Llama showing off that boutique hitbox just there, taking out Somniac. But there is plenty more Street Fighter to come. Don't go anywhere. Who knows how this is going to play out? It's still anyone's game. Gfinity Elite Series Street Fighter 5. Stay there. We'll be back soon.
We create machines that make every experience more intense and real. With Intel Core processors so powerful, you can redefine reality. Because the best feature of a gaming machine is the power. to make you forget it's there.
Welcome back to Street Fighter 5. Right now, it's time to reward you, our loyal viewers. Head to gfinity.instantloyalty.com to use the drop code GPERFECT and you can earn some currency. You've only got a short amount of time. Now, head over there and you can get paid. Don't worry about missing out on any of the action. You can keep watching this match and all the rest of the action from the rewards website. Now, we're about to head back into this huge first match. I mean, we were just talking during the break. A lot of you, yeah, exactly that face, dude. Exactly. A lot. I mean, both Rumors of Ghost and Somniac went down.
Oh, we've got to talk how sick that was, especially that game with Space Ghost and Shenkan went down to the wire. I did not think that comeback was going to happen. As soon as he made that throw attempt, I was thinking, okay, how does he win this round again? He has CA on deck, but that's a really hard way to get back in. Xavier proved me wrong. He did it so beautifully as well.
What do you think about this next matchup? We're about to see the captains.
This might become the decider for this matchup, because we've got to see this in the anchor game. If Chiefs can take it to 6 games and get to the anchor, I'm not sure. We'll have to see what happens here.
I mean, based on the way you've seen Rumors and Somniac play so far, do you have a call?
They play... I think they play each other pretty often, so they'll be very familiar with each other. They probably would have thought this was the deciding game, and that this is going to be the hardest match. But for both of them, they're around 1 game down. They don't want to go 0-2 tonight.
All right, well, we're going to get straight back into it. Over to you, Alex and Tom. It's time to fight.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are here at the Gfinity Elite Series, and we are back into this first set of Week 2. And now we have, Alex, the clash of the captains. We have Rumors of Ghost versus Somniac. Now, this is going to be a huge match. This is a storied rivalry, Alex. How do you think it's going to go?
I have to say, when I've played these two online before, they are the two lamest players. They like to sit back and wait for you to commit and then kill you.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst, I tell you. They're two very, very patient. I don't know if it's patience or just like masochism. I'm not sure which one.
I think it's a bit of both, Tom, but I tell you what, the salt flows when you play these two. But that's why they're here at the Gfinity Elite Series, two of the finest players specializing in their respective characters. Bison and Birdie, all the pride is on the line now for Melbourne Avant versus Sydney Chiefs. The two captains are heading off face to face, and Somniac is in deep meditation. He's thinking back to when he's played Rumours of Ghost. He's ready to roll. There it is, Bison versus Birdie. Both players locked in with V-Trigger 1. Here we go, both captains. Melbourne Avant is up 2-1 over the Sydney Chiefs. Somniac has got to take this game to even it up at 2 games all and keep the Sydney Chiefs alive. Let's get into it. Here we go, and Rumours of Ghost has got his game face on. He's ready to roll.
As cool as ever he does.
And Somniac is all business. Here we go into this game.
And just to start, from those last blockbuster matches, they both start with down back. Alex, is that just not the
the neutral jump?
Don't worry about it. Okay, now we're juicing. The two guys going at each other now. Now, I think Rumours is going to try and be the aggressor here because Bison sort of struggles on defense. And so I'm going to see Rumours sort of play a bit more of an aggressive style. However, that is not how you do it, just letting Bison bully you, Alex.
That's right, and Somniac doing some bullying of himself now. He's not happy with losing 50% life in the opening of that round.
No.
You can see here Rumours of Ghost just daring Tom to make a move. And that standing medium punch confirm into the EX Bullhead. I like it, Tom. That's what you've got to do to get Bison off you in the corner. Here comes the slide, trademark slide into the V-Trigger activation. He's going to try and make something happen here now, but that wall that Rumours of Ghost has got up, he's content to just sit there and let Somniac just go crazy with these normals. He's plus on all of these normals, but it's not rattling Rumours of Ghost at all.
No, I mean, I used to talk to Rumours about it a lot. And he used to say he'd pitch a tent in the corner.
He's pitching a tent in the corner, but speaking of
comfortable, but Somniac's tearing down the tent now.
He's tearing down the tent. Both players about even on life now. Somniac's backing off. He's trying to get Rumours of Ghost to commit to something. Great interrupt with the standing jab. Rumours says, you're not going to throw me again in the corner. Down goes the cat. That in the shield to get in. Great block on the cross-up. All right, pressure now from Somniac. And that is it with a standing heavy punch to take round number 1, Tom.
Oh my lord! So that's how Somniac wants this to go. He's sort of waiting and letting Rumours kill himself, but while still playing an aggressive sort of style. So you're going to see lots of forward-moving buttons and a sort of, but at the same time, a style of patience, Alex. It's a blend that I think only Somniac can really capture.
That's right, and Somniac has to be careful. Rumours of Ghost has almost got that critical art on deck. He's going to be looking for a confirm off the standing. There it is, the standing medium punch confirm into the critical art. So Som has to be very careful in the neutral game.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
And there's that neutral jump again. He got that in the first round. Didn't work that time, unfortunately. All right, Som trying to make his way in here. He has to be cautious of that standing medium punch confirm. That critical art is on deck. He knows how dangerous Rumours of Ghost is when he's got that.
Yeah, it is. It's because Birdie can do about 600 damage in one hit, which is about 2/3 of a life bar, which is absolutely ridiculous. Where Insomniac's character Bison is not a low damage character as you see on these conversions here, but he just can't keep up with Birdie if he gets the ball rolling.
That's right, all right. Som turning up the volume now. Rumours of Ghost down to about 50%. 49 seconds left on the clock. Rumours have got to make something happen here. Som is up 1 round. Rumours of Ghost can't afford to sit there just in the corner and wait for Som to do something. Som's already got a round up on the board.
He does have V-Trigger ready now. His feeding time is ready for Birdie.
And a great anti-air. And here we go. But a V-reversal straight away from Som. Get off me, bro.
Oh, the air-to-air.
Down goes the counter at the bullhorn. All right, great read. He's going to use the armor to get through that.
Oh my lord, no conversion there from Somniac, and now Rumours of Ghost is at a life deficit.
He's threatening. He's got that V-Trigger active, and he's still got that critical art on deck. That could have been it with the bicycle kick. Both players still playing very conservatively here. 13 seconds left on the clock. Rumours has got to make something happen.
Oh, one more hit though.
Rumours is in trouble. We're going to see a throw. And he got it. Is he going to have enough time?
He's going to do it.
This has to kill Tom.
Oh my god. Who's got the life lead? Who's got the life lead?
Oh my gosh, Tom. What a drop from Somniac, and Rumours of Ghost got away with murder there.
I'm not sure about that choice of wake up V-Trigger there from Somniac.
Oh my goodness.
How did he get hit by the wake up critical art?
He's going to be kicking himself for that one for weeks to come. All right, let's get into it. The third and final round. 87 seconds left on the clock. Neither player has submitted yet. All right, great bread and butter. Standing heavy punch into the Psycho Blast. That's one of Som's trademarks. Again, we see Rumours of Ghost locked down in the corner here. But he's quite content here. Birdie fights so well out of the corner. And there you go. You just hate to see that happen.
Disgusting stuff, Alex. However, this has been the tone of the match where Somniac is making everything happen.
Speaking of, Som is making it work here now. Rumours of Ghost in serious trouble. And Som has made up for it, and that is it. The double for Dash.
We're playing Mario Kart.
Fantastic. Well played by Somniac. And what a comeback. That was a massive drop there in the second round, Tom, with the wake-up super.
Oh, my Lord.
I can't believe he tried. I think he tried to throw him.
I don't understand why you would do that, though. You have like a nearly 50% life lead advantage. You know that he has 3 bars, and he's desperate. Like you could just sit there and wait and let the man kill himself, because if he had have whiffed that critical art, it would have been all over Red Rover. He wouldn't have even gone to that third round. However, in saying that, Somniac sort of switched his brain back on, I think, after that one. The supercomputer rebooted. And that third round was pretty clinical, I think, Alex.
Yeah, look, you can't hold it against him. It's one of those moments in Street Fighter V where time's running out. You've got to close out the round, and you're just desperate to get that last hit in to close it out, and you just forget about that wake up super is there in the background.
Speaking of, we are going to look back at this comeback. I don't know if it's a comeback or not, but so you see. Rumours of Ghost sort of fighting back here, but Somniac was just in firm control. And you can see, like, look at the life deficit already. Somniac has no reason to be the aggressor at all whatsoever, yet he sort of kept pushing the issue here. And then Rumours sort of realised that Somniac was getting impatient and waited himself and almost let him hang himself right here with the wake-up critical art. And I do not understand why Somniac committed to a button there, but it worked out in the end for Somniac.
That's right, and there's the crouching life punch to close out the round. Everybody loves that crouching life punch from Birdie. It's just always there. And look at the Rumours of Ghost fighting hard out of the corner here, trying to make his way up against Somniac, trying to get some offense started. He spent so much time in the corner.
Yeah, but
and a fantastic slide says, you're not throwing down another can against me. It's time for you to go. And a fantastic neutral jump here to close it out. Caught Rumours pressing a button there on wake up, perhaps a standing jab to anti-air, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I think those bunch of dashes there was Somniac being pleased with himself, I think.
Very pleased. The supercomputer prevails. It is now 2-all, the Sydney Chiefs versus Melbourne Avant. We're going to go into the next game now. It's going to be a Wild Llama versus Shenkan. So it's going to be a G versus Zeku matchup, I'm assuming, Tom.
I'd assume so.
But it looks like he might have Ken on the screen
he's going for Ken instead. Still an unorthodox matchup here for these two characters. I haven't seen this one play out myself.
So I don't think we've seen Shenkan's Ken at the Gfinity Elite Series.
I'm not sure. We might have seen it once in Season 1, but it's now, Alex. It's now.
The time is now, Tom. It's old school versus new school. Yeah. Let's get into it. A Wild Llama versus Shenkan, Melbourne Avant, and Sydney Chiefs. 2-all, and an opening big swing from a Wild Llama, but just whiffs, unfortunately. Shenkan didn't pick up on it.
No, I think he was ready for the whiffed special there, which I don't blame him, because it was a very rago start to a round.
That's right, and you can see a lot of these wheel kicks in neutral there. Both players not willing to commit yet, and that wheel kick is safe. All right, great anti-air. He's got that anti-air on deck all day today, Tom.
Yeah, I think so. Shenkan plays a very methodical style, and Llama plays a very aggressive style. So you're going to see a lot of Shenkan trying to hold his ground and Llama trying to push him to the corner. However, Shenkan is now pushing forwards a little bit, and that was about 10 seconds of nobody. Oh, lack of a punish there.
Okay, and a Wild Llama is content to just kind of get Shenkan to come to him. You can see Shenkan getting a little bit frustrated here, trying to work out how to get in. Here comes the V-trigger activation. He's going to get some offense started here now. Llama just content to sit there, not pressing any buttons, opting not to take. He knows how dangerous Ken is once he's got that V-trigger active.
Yeah, it is scary stuff. And I think it's looking like Shenkan doesn't quite have a lot of G character knowledge, I think, Alex.
That's
due to not punishing a couple of things and not being ready for some options.
Oh, and that cross-up. No, I would have liked to have seen an autocorrect there, DP. Again, the anti-air there. Shenkan getting frustrated, trying to get an opting for those jumps. And look at this distance. He's keeping a Wild Llama. He's keeping Shenkan out, with those long normals. Round 1 to a Wild Llama.
In the books. Now, we were talking about how Llama's a nut, but now look at this methodical, slow style.
I haven't seen him play this conservatively before, Tom.
Now, we say that, I mean, he's still whiffing special moves at mid-screen, but most of the time he is playing rather intelligently here, but now here comes Shenkan.
Right, a chance for Shenkan now. A Wild Llama still not pressing any buttons. I'd like to see some throws here from Shenkan. He needs to get inside the defense of a Wild Llama here.
Yeah, no, he's being very basic here, and Llama can sense it, I think, and is just being patient. Oh, nice throw to block the B reversal.
Okay, Shenkan.
Oh, here we go. Oh, he dropped the combo.
And just an interrupt there from a Wild Llama. He saw that run coming back in Street Fighter 2.
Nice wake-up options, though, from Shenkan.
Shenkan in trouble now. He's got to make something happen. He's almost dead. And Wild Llama, okay, wants to go for the G-Charge.
That's it.
And that is it. A Wild Llama takes it convincingly over Shenkan. And he's had great success with that hitbox controller he's brought along, Tom.
Yes, no, the ghetto pad, I think.
The ghetto pad. True FGC poverty with that ghetto hitbox.
But that was not ghetto play from Llama.
That was not ghetto play at all.
Especially in comparison to his first game that we saw against Somniac. That was a very patient style, and I think he sort of recognised that Shenkan didn't quite have matchup knowledge against G. As you can see, Shenkan not very pleased with himself because of that, I would assume. So
I think he was hanging back a bit to see if Shenkan
knew
what Shenkan was going to do and to see what he was. And you can see this tentative play here. Shenkan's not 100% sure how to deal with the Wild Llama. Wild Llama is content to sit there and just wait to see what Shenkan does, throw out some specials, see how he reacts, which is the way you want to do when you face players you don't normally play, especially in a competitive setting.
Yeah, exactly, because you've got to play conservatively when you don't know what's happening. You've got to try and win off of your fundamentals rather than character knowledge, which is a hard way to win against a character like G that is so obscure.
That's right.
Because he can get away with a lot of things, which Llama was doing. He was whiffing specials at mid-screen, but Llama just sort of sensed his opportunities and capitalised well, which you're seeing here. However, Shenkan did fight back at least a little bit. It was a slow match, and it was 2-0 to a Wild Llama, but I wouldn't call it a wash. I think that Shenkan played well for someone who doesn't understand the metrics of a matchup. So watch for Shenkan to go home and study that one and come back stronger next time, I think.
Absolutely, I think, Tom. All right, so it's 3-2. Melbourne Avant is up 3-2 over the Sydney Chiefs. We're going to have Space Ghost now versus the Big Chopper. Our new Abigail mate making his Gfinity debut. He came storming through with a victory over Rumours of Ghosts in the first game. Let's see if he can repeat it now against Space Ghost. Now, this is typically a difficult matchup for Abigail, I think, Tom.
Yes, I believe it is historically Abigail's worst matchup.
Worst matchup,
I believe. So this is going to be a tough one here, but Chopper's just going to have to let it rip.
He has to really play Rago as Abigail, doesn't he?
I think so. He's got to get in once, and then he's got to not be afraid of the flash kick. And he's got to just go for Space Ghost's throat and try and break him mentally, I think.
It's all down to a Big Chopper now. He's got to keep it alive for the Sydney Chiefs. If he loses this one, Melbourne Avant will take it 4-2. And I think this is going to be an exciting match, Tom. It's always an exciting match when you have an Abigail mate playing.
I'm very excited.
And Space Ghost knows he's going to have to do a lot of defending on this round, I think, because Abigail has so many of those armored moves he can use to get through Guile's defenses, those sonic boos and a few well-placed jumps, and he can really ruin Guile's day. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, now this is going to be classic grappler versus zoner action here. You're going to see folks going to see lots of this.
You're going
Projectile,
and then that back fist to keep Abigail at bay. He's going to try and keep Abigail as far away as he can, and Abigail is really going to have to use his life bar as a currency to get in against Space Ghost. All right, here comes Big Chopper. He's got meaty pressure now on Space Ghost. Space Ghost already finding himself in the trouble trying to just use that medium kick to get out.
Sweep.
All right,
like
just hoping to go to the other side. No buttons yet from Big Chopper. Content to take the throw.
Here we go.
Here we go. Activation, and this is where the danger starts.
Anti-air jabs just stops the jump back. Now Chopper chasing. You can smell blood in the water here.
He just uses the armor to blow through that EX flash kick. I like it. All right, Space Ghost in big trouble now. Here comes Chopper. He's got the command grab. That could be it.
That's round
one to Chopper.
Oh my lord.
Just like that, Tom.
And look at Chopper's facial expression. He doesn't care at all.
My goodness. All right, Chopper and Space Ghost. All right, Chopper moving forward now, and what a walkover that was in round one. And look how quickly he's closing the distance. All right, Space Ghost just opting to go for the Rago flash kick. He's going to take the chance to try and get Abigail out of his face. All right, pressure now from Space Ghost. He's got Chopper in the corner. Chopper just walking his way out. That's the fear, and a fantastic weight there from Space Ghost.
Now
just
keep in mind, Alex, Chopper already has his V-trigger ready to go. Here it goes, max power. Now he gets
and here comes a command grab. It's such a dangerous situation once he activates that V-trigger one at that rate. And a big swing from Chopper. Here comes a super, and that is it. Space Ghost. He's taking his hands off the controller. The Big Chopper ties it up. 3-all.
That was a nuts round. What a strong showing from Chopper.
Wow.
He's just walked in here.
Where was this man in season one? I tell you what.
In New Zealand, apparently.
He was in New Zealand.
He just walked in here, destroyed Rumours, then just wandered over again and destroyed Space Ghost.
My goodness.
In a terrible matchup.
I know. That's right. A terrible matchup, Tom.
He made it look easy.
This man has stormed through the gates of Gfinity with Abigail, and he is making a great show of it here today. He's taken the Sydney Chiefs to 3-all with Melbourne Avant, and he's going to take our final match to be Somniac versus Rumours. It's going to be the two captains facing off to determine who will finish this tiebreak. Let's have a look at the highlights, though, before we go to that match.
Yeah, let's get into it and have a look. Now, there's not going to be a lot to look at here because this is a very quick match. However, you get to see just how powerful Abigail is. So all you see here is one hit. That's all Abigail needs.
Space Ghost was so eloquently trying to dismember the Big Chopper, just almost surgical, but then the Big Chopper activate and got one all, and that is damage.
Yeah, that's the strong thing about Abigail is he gets to charge up those limbs
and
those limbs
into the command grab. You take that hit and you sit there and you wait for the next one. He just comes running at you with that running bear grab and grabs you, and it does so much damage.
It really does.
And again, look at this health deficit, but it's not going to make... You're never at a life lead against Abigail.
No, you're not. Because Abigail is able to use health as a resource, which is an interesting thing because he has so much of it because he's a big boy. And also, those charge normals...
He was 3 for 3 on those swings.
Yeah,
3 for 3.
Well, the thing is that if you see him, right, just charging that big punch at you, you're going to panic. And as soon as people panic and jump, it's all over. Because what happens is if Abigail breaks your guard with it, see, and their face goes,
oh my goodness. That is the face of a man who just got Abigail.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that if he had to just let the armor hit him, and then got the guard break, he would have taken a massively reduced amount of damage and then had an opportunity to make the comeback like he did against Shenkan. Instead, however, he panicked and jumped, and that is exactly what Abigail players want, because then they can get that raw hit on you and get like big fat damage combos.
Absolutely, Tom. And he forces you to make those split-second decisions. Unfortunately, it wasn't the right one for Space Ghost here today, but fortunately for us, that means we have another game between Melbourne Avant and Sydney Chiefs as they are tied at 3-3. It's going to be Rumors versus Somniac, and this is an old rivalry, Tom.
Yes, it is. It is. And an interesting tidbit that I've just noticed about today specifically, Rumors of Ghosts has gone 0-2.
0-2?
I think this is the first time I've seen it all through
after 11-1 last season.
Yep. So I guess like the Chiefs just like they have been doing their studying, Alex, like you were saying.
Tom, I think we need to take the title of Mr. Gfinity away from Rumors and give it to the Big Chopper.
Oh, I think so. Even if he just sort of goes home and doesn't come back for the rest of the season, you know what?
That's right.
He's impressed me.
All right, so this is going to be a rematch from game number 4, and Somniac was victorious in his first game here today against Rumors of Ghosts. Let's see if Rumors and Ghosts can take it up against Somniac, and both players playing a much more active game now. You can see Somniac much more confident after his first game win over Rumors of Ghosts, and he's got Rumors again in the corner. Rumors content to sit there in the corner. 83 seconds left on the clock. Great confirm off that crouching light punch, Tom.
This is exactly what we expected to see, Alex. The same thing, except a little bit more frantically, because both players know what's on the line now. Because if whoever wins this takes the whole set home, and both of these teams need these points. They want that top seed on the ladder at the moment. But now, Rumors is playing a little bit more aggressive, Alex. You can see he's a lot more buttonsy here. He's not letting Som run over him.
But look at this aggression here, Som. Look at this aggression here from Som. He says, I played you in the first game. I played your game.
Oh, the Dolphin.
And now we're going to turn up the volume a bit, but Somniac is losing health fast.
Yeah, I know. Big life lead. Here comes Shin Bison. Watch for the dash through. That's the Bison gimmick here. But Rumors doing that neutral jump tool to sort of stop Bison from being aggressive. And I really like that choice.
Yeah, he had a lot of success with that in Season 1, Tom. All right, Somniac turning up the volume now with V-Trigger 1. Goes for that heavy crush counter, but Rumors of Ghost doesn't bite. Rumors opting to jump back now. Ooh, saves it with the Devil's Reverse. I like it. He's plus on that. 31 seconds left on the clock.
Watch out. V-Trigger is now ready for Rumors to go.
You can see Rumors has got V-Trigger and he's saving that critical line for round 2. He's going to keep... Oh, no. I take that back.
Yeah, no, he's just letting it rip. These birdie players, man, they can't count. Oh,
big catch! Punish, all right. He's got one more chance now. He's got to make this work. Doesn't work for the command grab.
Gatsy tech from Somniac.
Oh, my Lord. See a command grab there.
Yeah, I know. I cannot believe Somniac tech
9 seconds. 8 seconds. Som, he's got to make something happen here. Birdie's got the life lead, but a great anti-air with the crouching medium punch. Rumors goes up in round 1.
He is now 1 round away from taking this first set of week 2 of the Gfinity Elite Series. How will Somniac supercomputer adapt?
Well, he was looking so confident there in round 1, Tom, but that life was just melting away, just playing into Rumors of Ghost hands with that ironclad defense. And here comes Som Pat.
Oh, nice little counter hit confirmed from Rumors of Ghost there, and now Rumors of Ghost has a nice little life lead, Alex.
And Rumors of Ghost is so good with that crouching standing medium punch confirm into the EX full head. Som has to be careful about that.
Yeah, he does. Ooh, a little whip punish with the jab.
That's right.
Oh my Lord, Somniac showing that he is ready to go. It's just that Rumors is adjusting his playstyle a little bit. I don't think Somniac was quite ready for it, but you can almost see Somniac thinking about his strategy here while he sits at mid-screen and starts being patient and sort of watching what Rumors is doing, Alex.
He's trying to see what to do, carry the 1 + 3 times +7. How do I get in? And you can see him, and just these normals from Rumors of Ghosts are fantastic. The whiff punishes, and Somniac straight back in there again. Dash up. Oh, and a fantastic neutral jump for Rumors of Ghosts. He's going to get rewarded with a corner carry now. Somniac neutral jumping, trying to get out of dodge, and Rumors just backing off, trying to get Somniac to commit to something. Down goes the can again. Somniac down to 5%. Oh, like Rumors of Ghosts could take this one in 2 straight rounds. This is going to be a frustrating loss for Somniac if he goes down here.
Oh, catches him with the air scissors though. Dash out button. Oh, good tech. Oh my
very brave tech. The first time he's teched and he...
Oh, anti-air. One more of those, it's over.
In serious trouble. He's got to make it happen now.
Oh, the catch. Oh, my Lord.
Somniac pushing forward, but it's a great throw. That is it. Rumors of Ghosts takes it for Melbourne Avant 4-3
over the Sydney Chiefs.
And that is your first set of week 1 done, ladies and gentlemen. That was an extra strong showing from the Avant team there. Strong compassion and work from those boys showing Rumours of Ghosts. Rumours of Ghosts doesn't need to be the anchor anymore, Alex.
And the look of disappointment on Som's face, I can feel it from here, the poor guy.
Oh, he's already complaining about Birdie. It's been 10 seconds and he's already complaining about Birdie.
I don't disagree with him at all, Tom. I don't disagree with him at all. What a fantastic game from all those players. Let's have a quick look at the highlight, guys. And we can see here Som playing a bit more of an aggressive game here, but we've got 17 seconds left on the clock. Rumours of Ghost trying to close it out against Som. A very brave tech there from Som. And Rumours backing off eventually, just trying to frustrate Som into doing some kind of unsafe.
Yeah, and this round, this is a sort of a mirror of what happened last time these two played. And Somniac this time, Rumours was sort of showing with Somniac what he should be doing and being a lot more patient when he has that life lead out.
That's right, and you can see both these players have very similar play styles. Perhaps Rumours of Ghost, that defense he's got there, particularly with his standing medium punch and his crouching light punch, just keeping Som. You can see there, as soon as Som gets close, goes straight to that crouching light punch to keep Som out. And Som just having trouble how to get in here, and those neutral jumps trying to bait the bicycle kick from Somniac. And you can see he actually got one off in this third round here. And a fantastic confirm off the standing medium punch. The damage there is Som straight back in, trying to work out. And there's the neutral jump I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, like it's a really smart option because M. Bison has a lot of horizontal moving specials, which you have seen in this set today. And the neutral jump just sort of blows them up in a way where you can gain control. Like that V reversal usage from Rumours there. He's like, I have a massive life lead. I'm not taking this pressure from you.
That's right. And Som trying to make a desperate play here, but Rumours of Ghost just wearing Som down. And that anti-air, you cannot jump with Birdie. The crouching light punch, and Som just out of options here. It looks like he does get a move with the Psycho Blast, but that's that wake up throw from Rumours of Ghosts, and a very satisfied man indeed, taking it for the Melbourne Avant. That's it, 4-3 Melbourne Avant over the Sydney Chiefs, Tom. Fantastic games from all competitors.
I had a feeling that one would go the full 7, Alex. It felt, looking at the two rosters and the two teams, it's very tight matchups and very explosive ones. But I did expect a tight set, and I'm very glad that we got it because that was a ripper to watch.
We had some fantastic openings, particularly from the Big Dropper. I think he was the MVP for this set, Tom.
Hey, you're not allowed to take Krishna's job.
Krishna's got to name the MVP. Speaking of Krishna and Luke, let's head across to them for the debrief. Thanks, guys.
Very cheeky stuff from Alex there. Let's have a look at how that match played out. Tight stuff. Let's have a look how it went. So yes, you can see it all there. Look, back and forwards, but in the end, Avant just proving too strong. Rumours of Ghost, perhaps winning back the title that was almost taken away from him by a wonderful casters of Mr. Gfinity himself. That is only the first match of today, but it was a huge one. Right now, we're going to cross over to Ash, who is hanging out with Somniac. He fought valiantly, he fought hard, but it wasn't enough. How's he doing, Ash?
Thanks, Luke. Som, that was crazy. My heart was in my mouth that entire time. It was crazy. I think Chopper had an amazing first debut. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like he showed up and he tore apart Avant. So I'm really happy that he was able to be in the team today, and might be in the future as well.
Well, Rumours of Ghost took a real beating today. You versed him twice, but he did take that one win off you in the last one.
Yeah, we usually go back and forth, but unfortunately I lost. Well, I had to win anyway. Yeah, so sometimes he just gets me.
So what did you think about the matchups today?
Yeah, things went according to plan, except I dropped a game against Lama that I fell for things that I was telling myself not to fall for. And there's a lot of mistakes on my behalf, and he capitalized on them and got me. I think that was like the deciding point, because if I had been Lama, we would have already won that set. But unfortunately, I lost that, and then I lost in the captain's seat as well. So, yeah, looking forward to the next time we verse him.
I hear you guys have been studying as well. Is this true? Who have you got your eye on?
Well, everyone, but most particularly Avant and Order. So we've been preparing for them.
All right, they're coming for you, Order.
Yeah. Well, the main game's going to happen in the top 4, so we'll see them there.
Oh, I love it. He's very confident. Thank you so much for talking to me, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Back to you, Luke.
Round of applause for Somniac, guys, huh? Man, you can see that's a guy who does not like to lose. You can see the fire in him then. He's going to have a difficult week ahead of him, I think, ruminating on that. And sitting at the desk right now, we have the winning captain. Give it up for Rumours of Ghosts, guys. Mr. Gfinity himself. Can you believe these cheeky buggers trying to take that away from you, man?
I couldn't believe it. No, surely by now they know that every time when it comes to the clutch, I'm there, right? I'm there.
I love that you say that every time. It's like you're throwing shade at your future self if you lose.
Yeah, look.
Flex your class muscles for me.
Oh, this is all me. Yeah, no. Clearly, it's a team effort today. I think it was like without a doubt. We saw the games between Space Ghost and Llama. They pulled it out like crazy today.
I mean, you're a very confident player, but did we see you a little bit under stress then in some of those games? True.
I think like in the heat of the moment, yeah, I'm thinking about the game, but going into it, I kind of zone out. I'm not really thinking about. I forget where I am, to be honest, when I'm playing. I wake up, I'm like, oh, Gfinity. I guess, yeah.
Tell me what you think about Chopper. I mean, I have to ask. He played so well today, and I want to know what it is for you, because I don't think you probably would have counted on him.
So part of me, there is the salty part of me that wants to say, like, you just get Abigail sometimes, but no, he did play well, and you can't count that out. He is New Zealand's best Abigail, and he's definitely in the running for Oceania as well. He played well. Like, he did things that I didn't guess. The command grab read that he made in the second round took half my health, sure, but he made that read, and props to him, because I wouldn't have ever read that, I don't think. Yeah.
We're about to get the analysis.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We could say it at the same time. Anyway, let's get into analysis right now of how that played out. An incredible match here, Krishna.
For sure, but I kind of want to talk about the win condition that he made at the end. And maybe you can tell me about Birdie's options against the charged heavy punch that Abigail does from Trigger. Because I saw you towards the end of the game, and he did that big fierce to keep that stun high, and I want to get it. What does Birdie should do? Maybe did you make the right decision, do you think?
Birdie has limited like actual Birdie specific options. His option is to jump out, and then if you jump out, you're also risking the crouch heavy punch charge one. So when you're in this corner kind of situation where Abigail can either charge or command grab or do any sort of things, you have very like few specific hard read options you can make, and like it just goes so wrong so quickly against Abigail.
I just think it was a beautiful decision that he made on his part to get that win condition, to keep your stun high in the corner after that big damage.
Yeah, no, like the reads he made there, it was 2 or 3 reads, and they hurt like hell, but he made 2 solid reads there, so like, props to him.
Cruel stuff from Krista, making the winning captain rewatch that. Brutal torture. Anyway, it's time right now for Krishna to choose an MVP for that match.
Wrong way.
Is it? Great. I was so proud of myself. Did you see how fast that was? The magic of television. Hey, this season there is a new 3-2-1 point system for our MVP. Krishna, who gets your points for this match?
Well, we've got to talk about your teammates, obviously, because Space Ghost making that amazing comeback against Shen Khan. I don't think everyone in the stadium was kind of in awe of that moment. And Llama taking it to Somniac and defeating Shen Khan as well himself. But I'm going to agree with Alex. If Alex wants to say it as well, that's fine. But the Big Chopper is going to get my MVP for this tournament today, this series.
What a debut. What a debut. Hey, you must have been impressed here, Rumours.
I mean, it's Abigail, right? No, he played well, I told you guys. It's hard watching this all over again, but that's so much damage. Yeah.
There are some big names coming out of New Zealand. The Chopper just being one of them. Zazav also performing overseas. And I know one person's going to be very happy watching, which is going to be Tinkos, and he's going to love to see that. The New Zealand boys coming through.
Yeah, exciting times. It's all a different ground here. Gfinity Elite Series Season 2, it's all changed. Big Chopper, the Big Chopper rather, is the MVP for that match, thanks to Astro headsets, including the new A40 and A50, which are being used on stage right here in the Gfinity Elite Series. Sydney Raw take on Perth Ground Zero in match 2. But before that, Gfinity will be reporting on all things social media in the G-Chat report. There she is getting ready. Looks so much like Ash. Weird. We're going to a quick, short break. You'll be back, we'll be back, and we'll all be back with Street Fighter 5 in just a sec. Brought to you by Astro Headsets and Dare Ice Coffee. Don't go anywhere.
Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
Calamari.
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 Let's make a jack.
Drink it through with Dare iced coffee.
Welcome to the G-Chat Report. I'm your host, Gfinity, reporting live from the Gfinity Esports news desk. First up, fashion. Melbourne Order star Travis Styles almost blinded the waiting paparazzi in Asia while wearing this little ensemble during the off-season. And we're not talking about that colourful print. Those legs, let's just say there's white, and then there's a whiter shade of pale. Speaking of fashion faux pas, is Beyoncé angling for a part in future versions of Street Fighter? Some fans of the game have suggested Queen Bee would make a welcome addition to character matchups. Here's a definite M. Bison feel to this getup. Very nice. M. Bison has never looked so good. Moving on, we just saw the new Sydney Chiefs backup brigade taking on Melbourne Avant, with the club's big guns lining it up in Paris at an international event. But if it wasn't for Perth Ground Zero rival Rups, BK Sama and co might not have made it to the City of Love at all. As BK revealed via Twitter at 6 p.m, he was playing sets with Rups when Rups asked him when he was leaving, and I quote, "Found out our flight was today at 9:45 p.m, not tomorrow." Cue panic stations, frantic phone calls, and eventually one very relieved Street Fighter pro sitting in the cabin ready for takeoff. And finally, players from the Gfinity Elite Series in the UK are calling for what they've labelled the Mega Elite Series, which would pit the champions from their competition against the winners of the series here in Australia. The idea sparked all manner of debate on Twitter, with Brisbane Deceptors captain Robbie Slar taking things in a particularly serious direction with talk of Vegemite versus Marmite. Marmite wins? I don't think so, Robbie. Who are you? But the question is, who hosts? Tom in the UK or our own Luke Joseph Ryan?
What? I wasn't...
Well, that's all for this bulletin. Keep us posted with your news by using the hashtag GChatReport. Until next time, I'm Gfinity. Don't talk to strangers.
No one told me it was going to come. Hey, next match is up between Sydney Raw and Perth. Ground zero. Both those teams are sitting without points, having lost their opening matches last week, so there is everything to play for. Raw have included their new signing this week, Fangria, to replace Kadzao, while Demosk and Captain Waz return this week. What do you reckon of that lineup, Krishna?
I'm really happy Waz and Deimos are back. I think they proved last week that they're a force to be reckoned with. And again, this isn't the Raw of last season. These are very strong players, and Fangria is a great addition to that. I really can't wait to see him play. I know he's been putting on a lot of work with his Zeku, trying to get best OCE. Is his aim, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, they're coming up against Perth Ground Zero, who have Freezer again. Statics? Saying that correctly? I always feel like such an old guy. Comes in for Sayo and Rups, who returns as captain. I mean, are they formidable this week for you?
I'm a little bit concerned, actually.
Really?
Yeah, without Sayo and without one of their other subs, which I'm kind of disappointed in, not seeing Ghost Chips come into the lineup. He was a very strong player from last year, and I think they might be missing him. Rups really has to step into that anchor role to get those 2 games on the board. I don't think that Ground Zero are going to want to push this to 7 games. They want to win it early if they're going to take out this series.
Okay, well, that's enough chat from us. Let's get these teams out here. So, ladies and gentlemen, go absolutely nuts for the Sydney Raw! Fangria, Damosk and Waz. They're coming up against Perth Ground Zero. Come on, make some noise for Freezer, Statics and Rups. Remember, this time you've got to have one of these guys. It helps for the chats. Man, are you feeling confident?
Dude, I'm feeling so confident this week.
Yeah? Definitely? You're going to wipe the floor with these dudes?
100%.
100%? I mean, what do you reckon, Freezer? Have you got the goods?
I mean, your team has good players, but we are also good players, so, you know.
These are the cutest, nicest boys doing smack talk I have ever seen. It is so sweet up here. ROF is coming soon. Don't worry, it's going to get legitimately mean. Let's see the lineup right now. Let's see the matchups. They're on the screen behind us. Let's turn around. Let's have a look. This is how it's playing out. Fangria coming up against Statics in the first matchup. Matchup number 2 is coming in a second. We have Waz taking on Freezer in matchup number 2. What's in matchup? We got Deimos taking on Rups. Deimos and Rups. I mean, look, Rups, let's have a quick chat before we get into this. Rups, are you confident about this matchup? Because I heard a little birdie say you're a bit nervous about it.
Well, I mean, that was like, if I had to be nervous with one of them, it'd be him, but I was just being nice.
Oh! I mean, do you think Damus can bring it?
100%. Look, like the way he played last week, if he plays like that again, this is going to be free.
Okay. Who's next? Let's have a look who's next in the lineups. Deimos taking on Freezer is next. Matchup number 5, we've got Waz taking on Rups. Matchup number 6, Fangria and Statics. And if we go to the full 7, we have Deimos taking on Freezer. That's how it's playing out. Perth Ground Zero taking on Sydney Raw. Get out of here, lads. Get in the zone. We're going to be back after this break. It's all kicking off. Street Fighter 5 action. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon.
Coming up, Sydney Raw take on Perth Ground Zero.
I'm really scared of Rups only because he plays Armika and she completely ruins Balrog in every sense of the game. It's a constant guessing game for Balrog, especially if she gets in. So the whole idea is, of course, don't let her in ever. Otherwise, that's game for you.
I am worried about facing Demosk. Balrog is one of my problem characters, and he plays quite nutty. So it's mostly about just trying to get lucky with the character picks and lucky with the player picks. If I can avoid fighting him, I think we should have a clean 4-0.
I'm hoping to upset, dismantle a few egos in the process. A lot of these people sit pretty and they've been sitting at the top of Australian Street Fighter for so long. I really look forward to kind of knocking them down a peg or two and even taking a few surprise heads along the way.
Do you know how soothing that is? Who needs to pay for aircon? You're hired.
You're watching the Gfinity Elite Series presented by Alienware.
We create machines that make every experience more intense and real. With Intel Core processors so powerful, you can redefine reality. Because the best feature of a gaming machine is the power to make you forget it's there.
Welcome back to Street Fighter V. Sydney Raw are about to take on Perth Ground Zero. But first, if you want to be an elite player, Alienware can give you the edge on your path to pro.
I'm Alex Hart, Street Fighter V commentator for the Gfinity Elite Series. I'm here to guide you on your path to pro, thanks to our friends at Alienware. As a new player wanting to take the next step in their professional journey, it is key to find and explore community hubs. Knowing where to look can make this significantly easier. Some of the major platforms to access the Street Fighter V community in ANZ exist on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, and various community sites. A few examples of these hubs are the Team WP Discord, Capcom Fighters, and EventHubs.com. It is important for aspiring professionals to keep their thumb on the pulse for gameplay and changes to the meta. There are a range of different YouTube channels which consistently cover updates to the game. For example, Capcom Fighters TV, as well as the Team WP YouTube, an Australian homegrown YouTube channel covering tutorials and meta for individual characters. Ultimately, the best way to integrate into the community is to attend some of the many local weekend and holiday events. Some of my personal recommendations are Battle Arena Melbourne in Victoria, Oz-Hadou Nationals in New South Wales, and Southern Cross Up in New Zealand. Community organised events provide a fun and welcoming environment to take the next steps in your professional career. Best of luck on your path to pro.
And just before we head to the next game, here's a bit more on Raw's new recruit. I'm still here, guys, mentally. Fangria, check this out.
My name is Bradley Bethel. My gaming alias is Fangria. Okay, so when I started playing Street Fighter V, the character I currently play, Zeku, wasn't actually in the game yet. So I started playing Ken. I like Ken because he was flashy, very easy to learn to start off. Then they released Zeku in the end of Season 2. He is an old ninja master, basically, and he actually has two forms. So it takes the two elements I loved about the two characters I named previously, merges them into one singular character. Not to mention he's a ninja and he looks absolutely badass while doing it. Having only recently, online I've reached Diamond rank, which is probably within the top 100 in Australia now. So from there, matchup experience is the most integral component to victory and being able to come out on top in most matchups. Offense is the ticket to victory, and for someone who prefers to play a very slow, methodical style, it's been very challenging for me to adapt to that aggressive nature. That's only been an improvement over the past year for me. The format really flips you on your head and really makes you have to rethink how you approach the game. For a game that's all about studying your opponent, learning and adapting, for you to cram all that into a first-to-one format, you've got to balance that explosive nature with the strategy of thinking for the forethought for the team match. It's really tough.
Someone get Fangria a goddamn modelling contract. Look at that hair. It's amazing. Hey, that's enough chat from us. It's time to fight. Over to you, Alex and Tom. Get into it.
Thanks very much, Luke. Good to have you with us live from the Hoyts Gfinity Esports Arena. It's game day as we kick off match number 2 of the Gfinity Elite Series Season 2 for Street Fighter V. Tom, I didn't realise that Fangria was such a beautiful man.
I did.
I realise now.
I was very recently introduced to the beauty that is those luscious locks, and it even makes a man like me jealous. Look, Alex.
Look at him. He's ready to roll. Here he comes. All right, and he's ready to go, making his debut at the Gfinity Elite Series for Sydney Raw. Fangria from Sydney, Australia. He's ready to roll. He's going to be going up against Static, who's playing for Perth Ground Zero. He's going to be using Manat, everyone's favourite online warrior. Both characters are now locked in. It's going to be Zeku versus Manat. Here we go, Tom. The first game, Sydney Raw versus the Perth Ground Zero. And I tell you what, even if Fangria loses this one, Tom, he still wins at life.
well, Alex, what I'd heard from the community is that at local events, these two play a fair bit. And Fangria does actually have the upper hand. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go. Static's someone who has had a little bit of time in the Elite Series in the past, but not with Manat. Manat is a new pick for him, and she's a very lame style character, so get ready to see a very slow, methodical pace from him.
All right,
And you're going to see Fangria trying to get in, Alex.
That's right, okay. And you can see here Static's trying to turn a little bit of early offensive pressure. There's a second jump from Fangria. The second time lucky he got in. And he's really capitalizing now with that offense.
Oh, he dropped the combo.
But he dropped the combo. Here comes Statix with the V-trigger activation. But I don't know if that was a drop or not. It was disgusting, Tom.
That was a dirty little reset there. That's
great block on the overhead from Statix. Let's keep moving forward. Fangria's in trouble. He's going to block. I like the timing on that V reversal. Great crush counter. Here comes the offense now. He's got Statix on the last leg.
He dropped the combo.
Oh my God.
The super.
Leg up super. My goodness. Is that going to be enough, Tom?
I think it might.
I don't think it's going to be enough.
It's not.
All right. Fangria's got one chance left. He's got to kill Statix with his stunning beauty. Here he comes. All right. Great blocking. I can't call it, Tom.
Oh, this is terrifying.
Statix backing off. A great jump in there. Just at the air, but a standing medium punch to close it out. Round 1 to Statix and Perth round 0.
That was a heartbreaker there. Fangria had it. He had it and he just dropped a combo and then Statix just turned it around.
Oh, and look at this offense just dashing in straight away after round 2 start.
Big
Bushing clear. That is going to be a lot of damage. Fantastic ender. Already down to 50%. Statix is in trouble. Another big jump in.
Oh, my Lord. Another big jump in. Here
What we
comes
saw in round 1.
Fangria.
It's not going to be enough to close it out, but Fangria off to a fantastic start here in round 1. Goes for the reset.
Little juggle swap there. Oh, here comes Menard's V-trigger. This is where she's scariest.
Right.
Went for the V-reversal punish, but didn't quite work out for him.
Like
the V-trigger is now gone, but now Zeku or Fangria has a massive life lead here, so watch for a patient play from him.
All right, quite suppressive button there. He's got the life to spare. I like it. Fangria still trying to turn up the offense, trying to jump in on Statix. Statix is going to defend now once she doesn't have that V-trigger anymore. Menard is a
he just got clipped.
Oh, all right, he's almost at stun. All right, Fangria opting to back off. Let that stun meter go down a bit. He does have critical art on deck and full V-trigger. He needs to activate if he wants to close this out against Statix, Tom.
Yeah, no, he's just going to need to get one hit to activate, and then he's going to be scary. Oh, here we go. Oh, what?
Oh, and that is an unfortunate drop there from Fangria, and he goes down in straight rounds to Statix. And that is a disappointing opening there from Fangria, I have to say, Tom. But he played very well. Menard is a very difficult character to play against. Very difficult to stay in once you do get in. But the offensive play there from Fangria, I was impressed. He'll be back, though, later on in this match in Sydney Raw versus Perth round 0. We're going to go to a few highlights next. After this match, we're going to have Waz versus Frieza.
Yes, we will, which is going to be an interesting matchup. Two characters you don't see very often.
The two nicest trash talkers in the FGC.
But before we get to that, let's look at these highlights. Now, these are two very interesting characters. And Menard is especially interesting, which you're going to say here.
And he almost had it here, Tom. He was so close, but that wake-up super just went for the grab to try and close it out. But you always forget about the wake-up critical art. It's always the last thing on your mind when you're about to put them down, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's the way when you're sitting here and you're in Fangria's position with such pressure and aggressive nature going on, it's hard to adjust and switch things up and then be ready for that wake-up critical art option. And Statix just saw it coming, went for it, and that round just fell apart after that.
Right. And Statix was clearly intimidated by the beauty of Fangria, but it just wasn't enough for him to close it out. And you can see here that just having trouble getting, he keeps going for those jump ins. He knows Statix isn't going for the anti-air command grab here, and he backs off. He's got that full critical art on deck and that V-trigger ready to go, and he dies with a full critical art, unfortunately, which is...
Yeah, it is. And that's the nature of Menard. Menard's a very explosive character. She does this range zoning sort of style, but can also turn it on and be very aggressive when she gets that V-trigger. And it's disappointing start for Fangria, but I think he will bounce back. But in the meantime, it is Incent reward time, and you can earn yourself some currency by heading to gfinity.incentloyalty.com. But keep in mind, folks, you've got a small window of opportunity here, so use that drop code GHITBOX and get paid. And if you're thinking you'll miss the action, don't you fret, because you can watch it all live from that Incent Rewards website, Alex.
I like those two words, Tom. Get paid.
Ooh.
Get paid. You can get paid while you watch a Street Fighter V tournament. Is there another Street Fighter V tournament you can do that where you can watch it and get paid at the same time?
I don't think so. I can't think of anything better. Except maybe this matchup right here, which is going to be Colleen and Alex. As we said, a very unorthodox one, Alex. And it's going to be at the Alex. God, I'm getting confused.
It is. All right.
Here we go. Diving into game 2. It is Waz versus Frieza. Colleen versus Alex. And now, let's see how this goes. Alex, what do you think's going to happen?
All right, Frieza's going to have an uphill battle here. Alex is typically a very low-tier character. He's going to struggle against Colleen. Colleen is a much more powerful character, generally considered to be upper mid-tier in the game.
Yeah, pushing that top barrier, but she's just missing a couple of things that the best characters on the roster have. However, she is no slouch, and Waz will showcase that, as we saw last week with those cheeky little resets and dangerous mix-ups that he has available.
All right, let's get into it. Perth Ground Zero is up 1-0 against Sydney Raw. Freeze's got to make it work here if he wants to take Perth Ground Zero to 2-0 lead.
Drops the combo, but just gets the little ice hands reset anyway, so don't worry about that. Now, Waz is at a cheeky little about 30% life lead, but Freezer can adapt here. Alex, not the strongest character, but he is very explosive.
Yeah,
so
big jump in from Waz. All right, he's going to get a lot of damage here on Freezer. Freezer's going to need to pop his V-Trigger if he wants to stay alive. Once Alex pops that V-Trigger, he does become very dangerous.
Yes, he does. That rage shift is very, very scary, but I think this is just a battle of V-Triggers.
That's right,
honestly.
and Waz is not opting to push the point there in the corner. He's letting Freezer out, trying to get Freezer to commit to... dash up command grab. All right, those are the types of reads you've got to make. Waz was ready for it, unfortunately, with the sneaky backdash. Jabs. Those are not dead in Season 3.5, Tom.
No, they're not, and which Alex sort of struggles with anti-air, so you have to make do with a bunch of average options. Like with Alex,
great parry, that's going to be big damage.
It is, and
Freezer needs to get in here, Tom. 40 seconds left on the clock. Here comes a V-Trigger activation, that could be it.
He's super dead. Colleen does have a bunch of damage
dead.
V-Trigger.
Super dead. Round 1 to Waz.
And that was a pretty much exactly what you'd expect from Colleen there. But with Waz's touch on it, because Waz is a very patient player, which you're seeing here. Like as you mentioned, he just let Freezer walk out of the corner.
That's right.
Because he's willing to just wait and see what Freezer wants to do, and then apply pressure when he needs to.
And Freezer needs to make sure he doesn't let Waz get any of these free jump-ins anymore. Okay, great punish from Waz. And let's see here, he's not committing to anything there. Freezer needs to come in. All right, big jump, he could have made it. Unfortunately, that was a bit far. And again, going for the dash-up command grab, but Waz was ready for it this time. Waz has got the corner now on Freezer. Freezer's in trouble.
Yeah, it's a scary. And he back away again.
Big swing to try and get out of the corner. Yeah, he's making Freezer come to him, really. And I like that strategy, but he doesn't get the follow-up.
I don't think he was quite ready for that to actually punish. It seems like he had a little bit of a lack of Alex.
All right, here comes the V-Trigger activation. A chance now for Freezer. He's got to make it work.
Dash power
Here comes a command grab. And they get another one. All right, standing hard punch doesn't bite from Waz. Waz is in trouble. Big standing roundhouse out of the corner. I like the parry. All right, a chance now for Freezer. Hang on. All right, doesn't get, perhaps anticipating a backdash there from Waz, but
Both players are getting a little bit sloppy now, Alex. Well, don't worry about it. Here comes the mixies. Which side's he going to land on?
Great block. Freezer's got full critical art on deck. If he can get it confirmed into the critical art, he can take this round on.
Yeah, no, it's not over for him.
Great neutral jump, but he recovers in time. I think Waz is in trouble here. He hasn't got any resources left. Just goes straight for the throw. Freezer not opting to press any buttons here. He's going to take the throw. Yeah, he can't afford to do any more of those.
No, he can't really afford to take the risk of teching there. I think he has to sort of take that option and just let Waz throw in there. But here comes the ice ball. He could have got
one chance for Freezer. This could be it. There's the critical art. I like it. And Freezer stays alive on life support with a critical art.
Oh my lord, Alex. That was a tight one. Oh, and Waz could have won that round. He got the juggle off of the fireball.
He said before, no, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. He told him, Tom. All right, Freezer playing to win. All right, confidently dashes forward. He's back in the game, Tom. I like this. He was looking a bit dead there in round 1, but he's back.
Oh, yeah, no, this is the Freezer we know. I know him as a very aggressive style player. He likes to play Alex as a very forward momentum style character, but nice V skill.
All right, Freezer having a lot of trouble getting in now, finding himself in the corner. I like the anti-air jab there.
Oh, the little dash under. That was really cute from Waz there.
All right, here comes Waz. Freezer in serious trouble. 75 seconds left on the clock. Waz dashing forward. Here comes the V-Trigger activation.
Oh, I like that V-reversal.
That's very good. Waz just getting out, but he's in the corner now. He's still in trouble.
No.
Freezer can still take this.
This is one hit away here for Waz, but Freezer is pushing.
Big jump. This is big damage. Stun for the stun. One more. There's the power bomb. Is that going to be enough?
He might be dead.
I don't know if this is going to be enough, Tom. Big crush counter. He needs one more guess after this, Tom. That could be it.
Oh, my Lord, look at that health.
Oh, I can't believe it, Tom. Freezer can take this. Still want to come back. And that's it. Freezer does it. He's taken it.
Oh, and he just stares at
I don't believe it, Tom. What a comeback. He deserved that. And Rups is happy, the captain.
Yeah, very, very happy. Big grin on his face.
Rups says you can stay on the team next week. I like you. I like you.
Oh, that was nuts. And then so that was a very composed finish from Freezer there.
It was a very composed finish. Honestly, after round 1, I thought Freezer was done for, but he came back so well with that critical art in round 2 and really pushed his confidence levels up.
He did. He just carried with the momentum. That's the Freezer that we've seen at recent tournaments. He's placed really well nationally at a lot of events in the last 12 months. And he hasn't quite been up to form at the Elite Series, but looking back at these highlights for Game 2, you're going to see the Frieza that we know and love.
Yeah.
However, you've got to keep in mind, Waz is an incredibly strong Colleen player. We're not going to see the end of him here. But this is the excellent use of Alex's very strong Rage Shift V-trigger.
Yeah, that's right. And he's got Waz here in the corner. Waz just wearing Frieza down in this first round. And it doesn't look like Frieza could really find a way in here.
No.
Waz just dancing in and out of that range.
Oh, there it is.
Choosing his openings, and it's confirmed like that. It will wear Frieza down and Alex down, taking round 1 convincingly. In round number 2, it looked like it was going to be the same thing again for Frieza. But you can see here Waz make a critical error at the end of round 2, and Frieza capitalizing with his own critical art.
Yeah, we're about to see it here. He throws the projectile and gets the chance for a juggle, but they're both being very, very patient.
Very patient.
But there it is. He could have comboed off of that, but he just missed the opportunity. And then Frieza takes advantage of the slightest mistake, and that is why you cannot make mistakes in Street Fighter V, ladies and gentlemen.
That is a classic closer from Colin players, that overhead to close out rounds. And Frieza, with great presence of mind, was ready for it all over. Rewarded with the critical art. And you can see him here just running a train over Waz here in the corner.
The third round was just absolute aggression and the stun. And then look at this. I thought this combo was going to kill, because look at this damage that Alex can deal out off a stun. Look at that big red bar. But then Colleen and Waz had a chance here, but cooler heads prevailed. And Frieza just look at that! Look at that stare. That man, that's a confident stare.
He knew he had it from the first round. We thought he didn't, but he knew deep down that he had it. Well, and the fantastic game from Frieza and Waz. Frieza taking it. It is now 1-0. It's 2-0. Perth Crown 0 over Sydney Raw, Tom.
Oh my lord, this is not the way I predicted Raw was going to take it, Alex.
But look who have we got here. The God Emperor of Mika himself. The protector of Mika's honor in Oceania. It is Rups. He is the God Emperor of Mika, and he's here to show it today. And what a worthy opponent. He's got Demosk.
Yes, he does. The boxer player known for the overhead, I believe.
He plays a very aggressive boxer, very different style from Travis Styles boxers, actually. Travis plays a much more defensive boxer.
Polar opposite, actually.
Later on in today's Gfinity episode, but right now it's Demosk versus Rups, and it's up to Rups to win a game for Perth Ground Zero to take it 2-1.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting... If Rups gets this game, they're up 3-0, Alex, which is massive. That is massive, and that is not, I think, how anybody predicted. So the weight is on Deimos' shoulders now to turn this series around.
That's right. All right. Deimos with a big opening swing, trying to turn out the pressure on Rups. Brave tech from Rups there. Rups waiting for something for Demosk, but Demosk just getting him with
nice
a great
dash under.
And that dash under into the free frame, standing short, is so leafy. You've got to be careful with that. He just goes straight into the target combo and gets a knockdown. Rups trying to find his way in, trying to pick his...
Ooh, nice little use of the drop kick from Rups there. Rups is playing a very patient style. Nice counter hit confirmed on the standing medium kick into the target combo.
And that could have been an overhead, but Rups opting not to press a button. Tries to go for the neutral jump, but sniffed out by Demosk.
I love that use of the screw upper as an anti-air tool, Alex. It's such an interesting choice from Balrog players, and I'm really impressed by the reactions these guys have.
That's right. Okay, we're going to see a V-trigger now from both players activating. Here comes Demosk, and this type of pressure now you have to do on with Balrog. I like the interrupt there from Rups. Now it's Rups' turn. Turn up the pressure. The dash go doesn't opt for the command grab, just dashing forward.
Body
There's
flat.
the belly fly. And the Rainbow Typhoon, and Rups with his trademark closer done.
Mika is so scary for that specific reason. She has a very, very quick dash, and then she has an incredibly strong and incredibly far-reaching command grab in that EX Typhoon. So, oh my god, the double dash! We're playing Mario Kart now!
Oh, okay. Okay, you can't do that. Only works with ROF. Okay, Rups turning up the heat now.
Yeah, no, he's gone for a much more aggressive tone here, which is an interesting choice. He's trying to switch up tempos and sort of catch down.
Oh, that's going to be big damage. Classic Demosk. All right, dashing back, trying to get a shimmy there. Or perhaps a small drop there from Demosk. He's in trouble now. My goodness, he saw the P-trigger. My goodness. That is a brilliant play, Tom. I don't think we've seen that at all.
No, that was an excellent play from Rups.
Wow.
Oh, that was excellent, but how would
he hasn't won yet, but he's done it. Rups is here to win, and he takes Perth Ground Zero to 3-0 over the Sydney Raw.
Oh my lord, this set is just... Deimos just in pieces after that incredibly quick match.
Feels bad, man.
Oh, man.
Feels bad, man.
That was rough. That was rough. I'm so... What are you...
The critical art on the V reversal. Critical art on a V reversal.
That was an excellent... That's a great showing of awareness there. So he went for the crouching heavy punch and activated. And during that time, you do get a freeze frame, right? So you can sort of take in your surroundings for a split second, which we're going to see in these highlights as they come up in a second. But I just want to talk about it more because I'm so excited. Like Deimos just wasn't ready, and he wasn't expecting it and went for the V reversal, which is an intelligent option.
That is patented Peter time. That's what we call Peter time.
Peter time.
When Peter starts Peter time, you can't do anything. He just makes amazing reads like that. Let's look at the highlights here in the first round. It was very even, but just Peter catching him with that sneaky Rainbow Typhoon. He likes to end with those.
Yeah,
He likes to lull you into false sense of security, just peppering you with those normals.
But
and then
Deimos fought back. He had a good read on that command grab after the double dash, and then got a good punish and a bit of a life lead. But Rups just turned the pace up after that, Alex, and just switched to this much more aggressive tone. And then all of a sudden,
the overhead,
big
and it looks like
damage.
it was all over here for Rups.
Yeah.
Goes for a shimmy. Rups doesn't press any buttons, but the back throw here just catching.
And then, there it is. He uses the freeze frame. So that is. I'm sorry for stealing Krisna's job, but I just want to talk about that. So he uses that freeze frame to just watch what Deimos is doing, and then just takes that split second, sees the V reversal, and just mashes super because it's so easy to confirm. And that's such a smart play from Rups. I'm so damn impressed, Alex.
Peter, I am speechless.
Oh, that was
Peter.
awesome.
Can we say MVP? Are we allowed to say MVP? Krishna's looking at me saying no, not allowed.
Hey, that's not your job. That's not your job. Let's send it over to the people. That was an excellent set, and I am super excited. Let's hope that the Sydney Raw can turn it around, Alex, because I want to see more games from these guys.
Absolutely.
So, but before that, we're going to send it over to Luke and Krista and see what's going on over there. How's it going, boys?
They're getting too big for their boots, aren't they, man? That's your job, dude.
Do they even need me anymore?
Have a talk to them during the break. I wouldn't stand for it. Hey, let's have a look at the scoreline so far. Perth Ground Zero absolutely dominating Statics, Freezer and Rups, all on fire as we can see there. The captain Rups pulling out some amazing moves in that last round. Don't go changing, don't go away. We'll be right back in a minute with Game 4. See you soon.
Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.
Let's make it Jack.
Drink it through with Dare iced coffee.
Welcome back to Street Fighter V, brought to you by Astro Headsets and Dare Ice Coffee. We are coming to you live from Hoyt's Gfinity Esports Arena here at the Entertainment Quarter in Moore Park, Sydney. Some beautiful shots you're seeing there. Why not come on down? It's a great day out for the whole family. If you don't have a family, go find one. So do yourselves a favour, jump on the website, grab a ticket to the show and come on out. Get involved. It is, yeah, go on, clap now. The best time for clapping. Hey, speaking of people clapping and having a great time, Ash is sitting with our wonderful crowd right now, hanging out with Mont, I believe. Hello, guys.
Hey, yeah, we're having a great old time. Mont, it is your first time playing this season. You guys are up against Melbourne Order. Are you excited? Are you pumped? How have you been preparing?
I haven't prepared at all. I kind of dropped the game, but I'm back now. Woo, yeah. Woo.
Is there anyone that you're concerned to be matched up against today, or are you feeling pretty confident?
No, I'm good. They're all right, but I'm also good. Like, we can beat anyone. Like, the top, it's like a rotation. It's easy to beat people in this game, so it doesn't really matter. Especially for me, like it just comes naturally. I just seem to win when I'm here. But we'll see how it goes, you know.
I love it. This guy hasn't even prepared. He's like, yep, cool, whatever. I've got this. We've got this. We're going to take it away. But right now, let's see how Ground Zero and Roy are going. I think it is their fourth and final potential match. Let's see how they go. Casters, take it away.
And Ash, you would be right. We are at a 3-0 right now for Ground Zeroes up against Sydney Raw. It is do or die time for the Raw right now, Alex. And I didn't see this one going this way. How do you feel about it?
How do you deal with Peter coming in and just Galaxy Brain Peter? That is a patented Peter pop-off. That is great. But look, we're going to have Frieza versus Demosk up next, so it's up to Demosk to keep Sydney Raw alive. They're currently on life support, down 0-3. If Frieza's able to take this one out against Demosk, they will take it in this season's first 4-0 over the Sydney Raw, and I can tell you that would be a crushing defeat for them here today.
Certainly.
Let's get into it. Game number 4, Frieza versus Demosk. Frieza repping his trademark Alex versus Demosk, and his very aggressive boxer. He's got his game face on.
Yeah, no, he's going to be wanting to turn this around after last game. That was a disappointing outcome for him. He's kind of Frieza's the cutest boy in the FGC. I'll say it right there. Right?
Look, his team's up 3-0. He's got 3 games to lose, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not that they're going to lose. All right, let's get into it. Round number 1. So Perth Ground Zero up 3-0 against Sydney Raw. It's all up to Demosk here.
Yeah, it is. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. We were talking about pressure before.
Yeah.
Now he's in a much more dire situation. But I think he's a player that is composed enough to handle it. He's just got to play his game. These two have played each other a lot. I know they have online. So you're going to see a lot of player knowledge here rather than
punish on the head stomp, but look at Frieza making it work here. He's almost got a stun on Demosk. Demosk finding himself in the corner. The dash! But Frieza's not having any of it, and that is round 1, a ghetto perfect to Frieza.
Oh my lord! I was just talking about how composed Demosk is.
What is going on, Tom?
The round was over by the time I finished my sentence, Alex.
All right. Demosk, serious time.
Yeah, let's see. Let's watch him adjust. Yeah, there we go. Aggressive start. There we go. Now you're playing Street Fighter.
All the dirty tricks. This is turning into a bar fight, and Frieza wisely just opting to get the hell out of the corner there.
Just escaped there with that dive kick that Alex has used of. And now we're going to see... now Alex and Frieza are switching up and going for their own aggressive play style, Alex.
All right, here comes Demosk. This is the type of momentum he needed in his match earlier today. He's making it work. There's the overhead, but Frieza's ready for it this time, Tom.
Here comes the raid ship. Come back to
very possible. Straight into a reset.
Oh my god, he's let it rip. Whoa, what just happened?
I see that set up, Tom, but it was just a bit too late.
Yeah,
he's still alive. Frieza on his last legs here. And just a straight crouching medium punch there. Demosk is on life support here. He's going to take it for Sydney Raw.
I'd like to say that was a strong round for Demosk, but I really don't. That was a scrap. He sort of crawled out of that one alive. Let's see if he can take the tempo, though, of getting a victory and get a win on the board for the Sydney Raw, because they need it.
Big crush down there for Frieza.
Good.
He's got full critical line on deck. He doesn't have to use it yet. I like a Tommy saving it.
Here we go.
That's big damage. That's a big read. He's going to take punish. He's going to get punished for that one, Tom.
Oh, my lord. This is starting to get gutsy. Demosk is playing very gutsy now, and I like that choice from him. It's do or die time.
76 seconds. Frieza with all the resources in the world. He's got full critical line, and he's got that V-trigger pop. Demosk in serious trouble. Demosk jumping. Here he comes. He's going to pop his own V-trigger to try and get a comeback effect. There's the overhead. Is this going to be it? Demosk.
He doesn't here.
The combo. Shimmy, and Frieza goes down.
Good stuff from Demosk. That was a disgusting first round, but look at that turnaround. That was a strong showcase from the Balrog player. And here we are now at 3-1. Sydney Raw, stay alive, Alex.
They are on life support, just clinging there for dear life. And I think Demos he lost his dignity there a little against Peter, but it's back now.
I think he was a little bit rattled going into that first game. You can see, I think he's trying to compose himself a little bit. But and I think Frieza could tell, because Frieza came out with this just aggressive opening here, which we're seeing in these beautiful highlights right here, ladies and gentlemen. And he gets that first hit, and it starts out nice and slow. So you're like, oh, this is a cool game of Street Fighter. And then you're going to see in a second,
Frieza just exploding, and a great whiff punish there. There's the standing heavy punch.
The whole world just went his way in the space of 20 seconds.
And a big jump. And look at the stun meter just going up there. He's got Demos panic, propping his V-trigger, and Frieza's having none of it. I'm just going to dash straight at you. And as a boxer player, you don't expect that at all. As soon as you pop your V-trigger, you expect your opponent to just run the hell away.
Because he just deals out damage like it's going out of business.
Yeah.
But then this round looked a little bit better for Deimos. But then Frieza just started with this massive comeback again with the rage shift.
And it was almost looked like it was going to go Frieza's way here in a straight double game. Oh, and I like this setup, and that would have been such a lovely setup, but it was just a little bit early.
And it did cost him here, Alex. It really cost him going for the flashy stuff. He should have just kept it simple, because simple was working. But then Frieza had opportunity to spend his critical art several times in this final round, but he opted to try and save it in an attempt to use it as a round finisher. But Deimos just turned on the juice here and got a lot more aggressive and just didn't give Frieza the opportunity he was looking for.
That's right. Here comes the V-trigger and a huge crush counter there from Frieza. It looked like it was all Frieza here, and Deimos just pulling out all the dirty tricks he could find, the overheads, the dash up throw, as much as he could with Boxer. Great confirm off the crouching medium punch there, dash up into throw, and then the big overhead to seal the deal. And Deimos loves to pull that out when you least expect it. It does
and then the shimmy as well. Man, this is nasty stuff by Deimos.
But I tell you what, look, there is no emotion on this man's face. Sydney Raw think they've got a chance, but look who is up here today.
It's the hitman.
Rups, Peter Barron, the Galaxy Brain himself. He's ready to put Sydney Raw away 4-1. He's going up against Waz here in this next game. See here, Waz just kind of sitting with his teammates, just trying to get some good energy going. He's ready to roll.
Waz never looks prepared, but I promise everybody in this building, he is one of the most prepared and successful tournament players in Australian fighting game history.
That's right.
So everybody better watch out. Our Sydney Raw going home, our Ground Zero taking it away. Let's see if we can get another game out of this set. I don't want it to end, Alex.
All right, this is match point for Perth Ground Zero over the Sydney Raw. They're up 3-1, and Rups is up there ready to play. He is emotionless. There is no... Oh, there a little bit of emotion, but not much. It's serious business here for Street Fighter 5. He's here to win. Perth Ground Zero versus Sydney Raw. Here we go.
All right, this is going to be a
big jump in from Rups.
I tried to talk about what's going to happen, Alex, and it's already happening.
He's already got Waz in the corner just like that. He says, you can't play defensively against me like that.
Nice double jump out, though, from Waz. Good use of Colleen's options there on defense.
All right, Rups has a very strong neutral game. You can see him inching forward
that V
very intensively, but that parry, you do not get any free jump ins against Colin, particularly against Waz's Colin. Great neutral jump there. Here comes the EX Peach now from Rups, turning up the volume.
Oh, here comes the dash go. Ooh, so I like that V reversal. Get out of the corner, but it is not. Look at that walk.
No buttons from Waz. He is a disciplined player. I like this.
He is.
Trying to open up Waz there, but he wasn't biting. Both players about even on life now. 60 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, the little parry.
Oh, and that is beautiful. That
excellent matchup awareness there from Waz. And now he just backs up again.
And look at Waz backing up, trying to get a setup there, trying to get Rups to commit. Rups is down to 1 bar. Neither of these players have B reversal ready yet.
Got it right on that.
V-trigger is almost on deck there for Rups. He's almost got a second V-trigger ready to go.
Another parry!
Again with the parry, and he is 3 for 3 on those top.
Colleen players all over the world salivating at all these parries.
Oh, goodness me. Okay, he's going to see an adjustment in this round. Perhaps not as many jumps there from Rups. He's paid for those deleted damage there. Waz is showing that he's got his anti-air on point.
Oh, but he just jumps again.
Just did it again.
Because the thing about Rups is he's just not afraid.
Wow, and he's just going, we can see a third throw. Another jump back. Great air-to-air from Waz. Waz still finding himself in the corner against me.
Back throw, that's scary.
It's time for Waz to exert some of his own pressure on Rups here, but opts to back off. He's backed off against every opponent he's had in the corner here today.
It's a very passive style, and I can never get a figure on it, but a lot of people see this and they just get shook and they're like, well, what's this guy doing?
All right, great read on the dashboard there from Rups.
Here we go.
Waz wakes up Buns. He's fighting out of the corner now. Big damage.
Here we go. Side switch. No, we go same side, but he drops it.
Rups just alive again. All right, and a big drop from Rups as well. Both players dropping, perhaps a bit of nerves. Here comes Rups, turning up the volume now. Tries to keep him in the corner, but he's out.
He's escaped now, and Waz just running away and then just dashing back in. This is such unpredictable play.
All right, here comes Rups.
Oh, he's just got
Deshko. I liked it. Doesn't get up. Goes for the command grab, but Waz is out of there already. All right, Waz is going to need something else to try and close this out. Good blocking from Rups. Rups knows he's got one more chance.
Back jab, such strong air-to-air options from Waz this set. Oh my god!
All right, there's Peter. He's got the Rainbow Typhoon. That's it. Done. Round 2 to Peter.
Oh my lord, what an
He's not dead, Tom. He is not done.
Oh my lord, what an exciting... Nothing is happening sometimes, but everything's happening, Alex. It's just all over the place.
And look at that critical art meter that Rups has got there. He is ready to roll. One confirm, and he is going to do about 50% damage there on Waz.
No, this is scary stuff. But then Waz has almost built up his own critical art meter. Let's see if these two opt to spend it on an EX move or on critical art.
Yeah, I suspect Prater will wait to keep his. He likes to save his for the big critical art.
Oh, but no, then he
there's the EX Peach. Commentator's curse. All right, V reversal straight.
Oh, he went for a punish, but he just missed it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Rups is in trouble now. Time for Waz to turn up the volume. He's opting to back off again. He's going to let Rups get out of the corner again. Try and get Rups to come to him. Sets it up with the ice.
Oh, nice little confirm. Waz.
All right, Rups in trouble now in the corner. Waz.
Oh, the
command. Oh, but he's out. Oh my goodness. Overhead.
Oh, good tap.
Rups is still alive. Rups pushing forward now. The stun meter's going down. Rups has got all the resources in the world. Big trigger, critical out on deck. He's got to make something happen.
If he can get one hit.
Oh, the crouching heavy punch activation. Nadeshko.
If he gets another hit off of this.
Rups with a chance. Oh, just let himself get out of there again. All right, he's powering up.
Oh my lord.
Oh, that could have been it, Tom.
Oh, the jump back jump. Waz is so on point with his air-to-air.
All right, Rups has got one chance left. One more. Oh, that crouching jab. And Rups goes down. And Waz keeps Sydney Roar alive on life support. It is now 3-2.
Oh my lord.
Ground 0.
Are we about to see a reverse sweep, Alex?
Goodness me.
I mean, this is almost standard of the Gfinity Elite Series at this point. Is just teams just going so back and forth that we just can't predict what's going to happen. Like, this was looking like a clean 4-0, and then all of a sudden now we're at 2-3, and all the momentum is on Raw's side.
It was looking like a beautiful 4-0 run for Perth Ground Zero. Let's have a look at the highlights here. We can see here Rups trying to get in pensively and a great parry on that belly flop. And look at the damage. You don't get any free jump-ins on Waz, no matter how much you augment your jump.
I'm incredibly impressed by Waz's anti-air options, using the crouching pierce, the jump back jab, and the parry. He just knows the spacing to use each of Colleen's tools.
That's right. And these V-reversals from Waz just to get out of all the pressure situations. There's a second parry. Down goes Rups in round 1. Rups fighting that valiantly here in round number 2. He does take the second round to keep himself alive. Pressure from Waz here. Rups opting to go for another jump, and he's just been insisting on those jumps despite taking, what was it, 2 or 3 parries in round 1?
I know. Well, I think.
Oh, and there's a Rainbow Typhoon. That's the trademark Rups finisher in round 2.
It is. But I think that's just the nature of Rups' playstyle and why he's so scary. Is the man just does not take no for an answer.
Yeah.
And then this is terrifying when you're Waz. One reset and you're out. But Rups making an error there and letting Waz get away with the V reversal. He could have gone for an option there that would have let him punish it.
Yeah, he had to have known that Waz was going to opt for a V reversal as soon as that reset happened, but unfortunately just let Waz get away with that one there, and Waz keeping Sydney Roar alive. Perth Ground Zero was having a beautiful run against Sydney Roar, and speaking of beauty, look who's back on the stream. Fangria himself.
Bushin's out. Harness your Quan, young one.
He's ready to go. So Sydney Roar are down 3-2 against Perth Ground Zero. If Fangria can take this one out against Statics, he will take it to a tie of 3-3 against Perth Ground Zero. And we've got Statics going for Bison, Tom.
That's an interesting choice. Now,
I haven't seen him pick Bison for a long time.
No, neither have I. I know that he's basically committed to Manat as a main now, but I guess he feels like mixing it up against Fangria is a good way to close out this set.
All right, game number 6, Sydney Roar versus Perth Ground Zero. Fangria did drop the first game. He's going to look to take out Statics here in game number 6 to try and take it to a tiebreaker. against Perth Ground Zero, and Statix is ready to roll.
Very, very scary.
He's got Rups whispering in his ear, if you don't win, you're not on the team next week.
Yes, you've been cut.
All right, here we go, opening game. And Fangria just opting to stay with old Zeku. I think he feels that his old Zeku is perhaps a little bit better than his young Zeku.
Yeah, you'll find that with most Zeku players. They have one that they prefer, because it is very hard to master basically two characters at the same time, Alex.
That's right. Oh, and perhaps trying to go for an anti-air to knock Statix out of the air there, but it wasn't successful.
No.
Statix turning up the volume. Just Fangria can't seem to get any type of offense started here against Statix plus.
Oh my lord, look at these buttons. These
plus on, this plus on block and a huge crush counter there on Statix. Statix looking, Fangria looking like he's in trouble now.
Yeah, I like that V reversal though from Fangria. Oh, he's going for
not a very strong V reversal though, is it, Tom? He doesn't get a knockdown. Fangria in serious trouble now. He's gone for young Zeku. He needs to get some offense started. Goes for the frame trap.
He had the chance there. He got that jab, but he didn't combo off it. And there's a tick throw.
And a straight throw.
And now, Perth Ground Zero are one more round away from winning this set 4-2, Alex.
All right, Statix on match point. You said we may not get a 4-0, but we can get a 4-2. You were starting to get a comeback, but I'm not going to let you get it.
Oh, nice use of the grams here. Now he's looking at a more zoning style for Fangria now, which is the interesting thing about Zeku is that he's a character that can do a lot of things at once, Alex. He's a very versatile character, if you will.
That's right. Statix pressuring with that Psycho X now. Fangria going for the neutral jump, and unfortunately a little bit too far away. An opening for Fangria. He doesn't capitalize. There's the slide. This is going to be a punish. Fangria pushing forward now. Statix not biting. No throw.
Uh-oh, here we go. Now Statix is doing his own offense, which gets by the random scissor legs. Wasn't quite ready for it. Now Bison using that infinite pressure that he's known for.
Right, and look at the pushback. All right, great block there by Statix. Statix content to just sit back here and let Fangria wear himself out. That critical art is building for Fangria, though. He's going to have a critical art next. So
nice.
Great meaty. Finally an opening from Fangria.
Oh, just dashed through the button. That was terrifying. Here comes Shin Bison.
All right, Statix. This is dangerous for Fangria. He can lose a lot.
Oh, nice bait by Statix.
Panic button. All right, but I like the throw. All right, he can close it out here. Fangria with a chance now. He's gone for young Zeku. He's going to try and close it out with some offensive push in action.
Oh my lord, the neutral jump goes under. This is getting tense, Alex.
All right,
here comes the Psycho Ball.
Statix down to about 10%. 30 seconds left on the clock. He's got feature.
That's
great neutral jump, but that is it. Statix takes it. Perth Ground Zero has taken it over Sydney Raw. GG, that's it, Tom.
That is it.
It's all over.
Not quite clean 4-2, but that was a strong showing from Perth Ground Zero there. They lost on a little bit in the middle there, but they were able to close it out. And it's a disappointing finish for Fangria's night, but I think he can go home and has a lot to work on, and he knows what he can work on now.
He can hold his head up high, the most beautiful man at the Gfinity Elite Series, and a very strong opening there from Fangria. Unfortunately, not strong enough against the onslaught that is Perth Ground Zero and Galaxy Brain Peter.
Yes.
But a fantastic match from all competitors. Very well played. Let's have a look at some of these highlights before we sign off, Tom.
Yeah, no, and it was interesting because I think that Statix went for this Bison pick to throw Fangria off a little bit, and you could see that it worked because he just wasn't quite ready for the Bison option, and Statix was getting away with a lot of things that aren't quite real pressure, and there are gaps there where Fangria can interrupt, and then Fangria started going for offense options that are easily interruptible, and Statix was just on point enough to just basically throw Fangria off his game.
Yeah, and you can see so many plus frames on Bison's normals, and really the only options that Zeku has got is the V reversal, which isn't a very good V reversal in the scheme of things. He doesn't get a knockdown. You can see here Fangria is finally getting a frame trap there on Statix, but Statix is able to just turn it around with a V-trigger activation.
Just activates that Shin Bison, and then this is where Bison gets incredibly scary, and that was an excellent bait, because after that back throw, Bison gets a guaranteed down forward heavy punch, but the Statix just opted to fake it, bait the DP and get a big punish, and that's just basically evidence of how in control he was in this match.
That's right, but you've got to make those types of reads. Fangria committed to the read, and look, those are types of reads, and that fantastic neutral jump there, just read the slide there, and that is it. Statix closing it out for Perth Ground Zero, 4-2 over the Sydney Raw, and that is a heartbreaker for Fangria.
Yeah, it is. It's disappointing, but I think he'll bounce back. I fully expect to see Fangria back here later in the Elite Series, and I expect him to not lose as many games as he has today going forward, because he is a very strong player, and I think he will do great going forward.
With hair like that, how could he not bounce back, Tom? Perth Ground Zero, 4-2 over the Sydney Raw, and I think we're going to head across to Luke and Visner for the debrief. What have you got for us, guys?
Yeah, pretty epic affair there. Ground Zero just taking it away from Sydney Raw. This is how it played out round by round. This is how the scores fell. So yeah, Static's getting out of the gates hard, then Freeze the captain. Nice work taking down Waz. Rups again, it looked like it was going to be completely one-sided, but we did see Sydney Raw make a comeback then. But Static's closing it out against Fangria, making it a rough first week for him in the Gfinity Elite Series. Right now, Ash is hanging out with him. How's he doing, Ash?
So look, there was a little bit of a tough first initiation for Gfinity Elite Series Season 2. How did you feel today?
Look, I had no idea what I was getting into coming onto this stage, and it was pretty nerve-wracking, to be honest. A lack of character matchup experience really cooked me alive just then. But look, I know what to take to the lab next week and practice against the matchups I'm not comfortable with yet.
Well, I found it funny that Damask and Rups both said that they were a bit concerned about their own matchups. How do you think they both went?
Look, Mika versus Balrog, I think given the matchup he had, Damos did really well and he shouldn't really feel bad about himself at all. The fact that these two brought it back the way they did made me feel a bit better about my performance, I'll be honest with you, but still early days yet. I think I can rise to the occasion eventually. Bear with me.
So what are you going to take from today into the following weeks?
Other than more Bushin, more tricks, practice, get ready to beat everyone who comes my way, apparently. Yeah.
I love it. Good luck with that, mate. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Back to you, Luke.
Yeah, good on you, Fangria. Grand Zero, too good for you guys. Today, though, we have Freezer sitting at the desk. Round of applause for Freezer, guys. Absolutely smashed it. Man, you must feel good going into Season 2 with this kind of form, yeah?
Yeah, well, it's a bit shaking to actually win once. So I'm a bit flustered right now, but I'm super glad that we managed to close that out.
I mean, we have all kinds of things here, don't we? We have ROF who's talking big no matter what, and then we have a guy who's just won and he's been humble about it. This is beautiful.
I think it's Freezer type.
Yeah, I think it's much better if you're modest, because you never want to be on that losing end, and so if you're just nicer than then it's so much better.
That's a very humble way of throwing shade at ROF. I caught that, Freezer. You're starting to beef. I'm on your side, man. Very cool. Over to you, Krishna.
Oh, before we start the analysis, I just want to talk to you a little bit for the WAFGC, because I know you're a big representative over there. You don't get to hang out with the East Coasters that much anymore, so does it feel good to represent your home city, I guess?
I mean, of course. WA has a pretty small scene, but it's pretty dedicated. We have players like Travis and Yas, and we travel over here. It's a long way, so it's a bit difficult, but we always want to represent Perth. It's, we love our home,
I'm a Perth boy as well, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, from country WA. Anyway, let's not get into that. Let's get into some Street Fighter analysis right now. Let's talk through some of these rounds, Krishna.
Yeah, the first one I want to talk about is Waz kind of dropping the ball on that last game, unfortunately. He went for the overhead decision in the end. Would that have been what you would have done?
I mean, yeah, because Colleen players, they love that overhead at the end of the round. And even if it didn't kill, he would have gone for the grab. But, I was just looking, I was just waiting, playing safe, and then hoping that he'd do something dumb so that I could take the round.
I just thought it was really risky, especially with you having that CI on deck. That was one of the only ways to lose that round, really. I would have thought he went for something safer. But as you can see here, just his last decision after he makes... The clock was ticking down, I guess. It wasn't really on his side. Maybe he should have played the clock, actually. Yeah. I just kind of think... Is this a smart choice? Probably not in that case.
Yeah, I was saving that CA for the whole time, just waiting for one little mistake and then capitalizing.
That's what it is about being a reactive player. As we see in the second game, we're going to watch you kind of get off to a slow start in the middle of this third round. What did you have to adjust at all to Waz's style?
Yeah, he's super defensive, which caught me off guard because it's very different to a lot of the Colleen players that I usually play with. So I had to sort of chase him down, try not to make any stupid mistakes, which you can do a lot with Alex. So yeah, I was a bit shaken after that.
As we see you here, you keep it in the corner, but this is when you really start to make your comeback, right around here. Getting that first one, Alex very strong in the corner, as we know. The stun was building up. Did you think you would have had the kill after this command grab?
Yeah. I should have optimized the jump-in combo, and then he would have died, but, that's just how it is.
Because I noticed you just built the meter at the end there as well.
Yeah,
you didn't quite have it.
I was looking at that meter the whole time. I was just like, please get a bar, but it didn't end up happening. So.
Not quite work, but congratulations, you did, and that was a very important game for your team.
Thank you.
Nice work, Freezer. Right now it's time to find out who the Astro MVP is for that match. Righto, Krishna, where do the points go?
Oh, we kept swapping around during that whole game. 3-0 first for the 0, and then they tried to bring it back. So I'm going to give my first point to the man who started off all it's going to be Frieza. We hit the first point. Second point, Deimos for getting it back. Giving the Raw some hope, I guess, but I can see him sitting right over there. Statics will guess the MVP for this series. Especially, I like the idea of going for Bison in the second game. I know that Fangry is not quite comfortable with that matchup, and I was wondering maybe Statics... The Manat didn't look comfortable. It was okay. He was scrappy a little bit, but the M Bison looked really comfortable. I know he's a little rusty on it, but he proved that he can basically pull it out whenever he wants to.
Excited to have someone with sweet form like that on your team, Frieza?
Of course, of course.
Awesome stuff. All right, congrats to Statics, our MVP for that match, thanks to Astro headsets, including the new A40 and A50, which are currently being used right here on stage at the Gfinity Elite Series. Righto, we have one more match to go in today's Street Fighter V action. Melbourne Order are about to take on the Brisbane Deceptors. Order coming with last week's winning roster of Bug, Travis Styles, and their captain, ROF. Big lineup. I think we are going to go to a break, though, and then we'll... No, we're not. I don't want to go to a break, guys. Who wants to go to a break? Not me. I'd rather look at a lineup. So let's have a look at this as the lineup. Talk me through this lineup, Krishna.
Well, again, it's the winning lineup from last season, and I'm really especially to see if ROF's bounced back from that little injury that he had last time in that little first set. What do you think, Frieza?
I think, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. So, I think he'll just do its thing and, they'll just hope for a win, basically.
Hope for a win?
Yeah.
I don't think they'll hope with Travis Styles, I gotta say.
Awesome stuff. All right, well, Brisbane Deceptors have one change to last week's team that lost to Melbourne Avant. Mont replaces K-Sura, while Panda and Robbie Slar both return. What do you think about that? Let's ask you, Frieza. What do you reckon about that lineup?
I think it's really strong. I was playing with both Mont and Panda yesterday, and they were proving that they were extremely crisp with their gameplay and they're extremely ready. So we'll probably see a blow up. I hope so.
It was interesting because Mont said he hadn't been playing for a little while. I was kind of surprised by that. That kind of changes my mind a little bit.
Yeah, he just jokes about that. He actually plays a lot.
Now, don't forget to follow Gfinity at GfinityAU on all our socials. Broadcast times are up there, CSGO, Rocket League, and Street Fighter V. There's also plenty of other stuff, so check it out. Match 3 is coming up after this short break. Street Fighter V, Gfinity Elite Series. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Melbourne Order tackle Brisbane Deceptors.
So this week we're going up against Deceptors, and essentially just depends on who I'm playing up against. Pretty much from there, gauge how much effort and how much sweat I want to put into the match. So I'm 150% sure we're going to win that. I don't really see us losing at all.
You're watching the Gfinity Elite Series presented by Alienware.
We create machines that make every experience more intense and real. With Intel Core processors so powerful, you can redefine reality. Because the best feature of a gaming machine is the power to make you forget it's there.
Welcome back to Street Fighter V. Now, to be a top-tier player, you've got to adopt the 3 Ps: practice, perseverance, and preparation. Nothing can be left to chance. Ash is with Orders ROF to show us how he prepares for a big match. It's time for Dare Drink It Through.
Get through with Dare Iced Coffee.
ROF, what is going on? Wow, those are some big glasses.
No, don't suit me, do they?
Yeah, it's a no from me. I say keep looking. So you're up against the Brisbane Deceptors today. How have you been adapting your gameplay for them specifically?
Nothing has really changed. It's this, it's the same old Brisbane Deceptors, in love with Robbie and all that. So we're just going to go in for a lot of confidence and hopefully take the win there.
Well, everyone's been saying that you're the man to beat. How do you respond to that? Oh, wow. I'm going to say those glasses probably a no from me as again. Oh. So, how do you respond to people saying that you are the man to beat?
I guess the biggest thing is probably that I got like this whole persona behind me. So if they do feel like that they're going to beat me, it will give them like a lot of traction or a lot of like an oomph factor, like, oh, they beat RF, but somebody's beaten me already and it's Damask. So I guess if you beat me from now on, it means something. Who knows? Yeah.
Does that motivate you at all throughout the season?
Oh my gosh, espresso?
Hey, I found a pair of glasses here. What do you think of these ones?
Oh wow, I've never seen these ones before. Let's take a look. All right.
You really are preparing well. I love it.
How is it?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
It's because you're looking at yourself in the reflection, isn't it? Is that why? Yeah, I thought so. What was the question again?
Drink it through with Dare Iced Coffee.
I mean, I guess clap for that. It's good as good as Street Fighter. I'm not sure about the acting career. Yeah! Sweet burn. Please don't fight me. Hey, let's have a look at the score update so far of how these matches have played out. So Melbourne Avant took out Sydney Chiefs. What a match that was. Down to the wire. Then Perth Grain 0, too strong for Sydney Royal. Final match of the day, Melbourne Order taking on the Brisbane Deceptors. I mean, this is a big one. Let's not do any more chit-chat. I'll talk to you in a second. We'll find out what your hot take is on who's taking it home. Krishna, let's get these players out here right now. So please, guys, go absolutely nuts for Melbourne Order! Bug, Travis Styles, and ROF. There go the bad boys. Taking them on. It's the Brisbane Deceptors. Make some noise. Panda Mont and Robbie Slar. Righto. What's happening? Do people know where they're standing? What's going on? Are we working this out? Here we go. Hello. Good afternoon.
Oh my God.
G'day, gents. How you doing? How are you? Oh, look at this. I mean, how are you, Robbie? Are you pumped for this?
Oh, I'm pretty pumped. I think we got some tough competition, but we will not kneel before ROF and his band of whatever they are. We will stand our ground and we will fight.
You fight with love. That's what I like about you, Robbie.
May the best man win, ROF.
Oh, what? He won't even shake his hand. That's just sportsmanship, ROF. No handshakes?
Hey. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, Travis, give it for me.
Oh, you want it as well? Oh my God, I have no
So we all
power
know
here.
Deceptors, they're not going to win any games this entire season. So I have one piece of advice for the entire team. Take a page out of Robbie's book and become cosplayers instead.
Speaking of cosplayers, what's going on with these pants, mates? My goodness, look at these sweet legs. Holy dooly. Get a close-up on that. Great pair of thighs, great squats. I'm double miking at the moment. That's enough of that. Hey, let's find out what the matchups are right now. The screen behind you, lads. Let's check it out. This is how it's going to play out. Travis Styles going up against Robbie Slar first up. What's the second matchup of this one? ROF versus Mont, matchup number 3. Bug versus Panda, matchup number 4. Travis Styles versus Panda. Travis Styles, I want to ask you about this one. Are you nervous about taking on Panda? He's been in fine form.
Nah, I look forward to it. He's a really good player and I want to have a good match with him.
So he's a good player, though, so you're rating him, huh? You tried to smack talk and you ended up being
Panda.
nice. Yeah. Panda, where's Panda? Panda, how are you feeling, man? So can you just please cut the talk down? We've got a lot of stuff to get through. Can't shut this guy up. We got a couple more matchups. What's the next matchup? Matchup number 5, ROF versus Robbie Slar. Number 6, if we get the Bug versus Mon. And the ultimate number 7 matchup, Travis Styles taking on Panda. Once again, get out of here, fellas. Get in the zone. We're about to head into our final match. Just before we get into this game for Travis Styles versus Panda, we are going to talk to the casters, I think, is what's happening. Sometimes I don't even know, guys. That's right. It's all happening live. Just before we get into the first game, let me tell you this. Here's what both sides thought about this week's matchup. That's what we're going to do. I know what's going on, guys.
Look, Order are the reigning champions, and they 100% deserve it. Their whole roster is incredibly scary. But, you know, if we want to take these championships, we have to beat everyone, you know? And we doesn't afraid. We're gonna take the fight to them.
They have a really strong player in Panda, someone that we actually wanted to get on Order because he's a very strong Ken player and he's a funny dude. He always boasts and pops off and stuff when he wins. But I think their team, other than Panda, is a bit weaker. So I think overall they're probably around the same level as Sydney Raw. But unless they bring in maybe, say, Mont, who they had last season, then it could be a pretty strong team.
I hope to face up against all of them. I like versing Bug because Bug is like he's sort of the opposite of me. So he'll win off like one mix-up, but I want to win off consistent, not reads, but more so outplaying my opponent in the neutral. And then on the rush down, you know, then I'll play the guessing game.
I'm being subbed out for Mont, and I believe Mont could really be a surprise factor for Order. They're a really scary team, but Laura, very scary character in first to one, can really bring it to you with those command grabs and kill you in one guess. So like, I'm really excited to see how the trio of Robbie, Panda, and Mont go against Order. Scary team, ROF's going down.
Chris, now how do you see this one going?
I think Panda really needs to step up for the Deceptors this week. He took out a game last week against a Wild Llama. I just had to remember that. But he really needs to hit the 2-0 because I don't think the other two can carry with him. If he can get the 2-0 and then one of them can steal a game, we'll take it to 7 games and then they have a chance. But really, it's Order to lose, really.
So what are you saying? Which team's going to take it?
I'm going to say Order's going to take it.
Order's going to take it?
Yes, off the back of Travis Styles' consistency. That's really what it comes down to.
All right, let's see. I think the crowd wants Deceptors, but we'll find out in just a second. It's the final match of the day, Street Fighter V Gfinity Elite Series. Over to you, Alex and Tom. It's time to fight.
Thanks, Luke. Good to have you with us live from the Hoyts Gfinity Esports Arena. It's game day as we get into the third and final game here today. It's going to be the Melbourne Order versus Brisbane Deceptors at the Gfinity Elite Series. Tom, how are you feeling about this one?
Well, I mean, on my predictions, I did pick the Deceptors, and I know that Order here are the team.
You picked Deceptors?
I did pick Deceptors, and it's because I don't know, I feel like there's a good chance that they just slide out under him because as you can see, ROF and the boys are all rather cocky whelp fellows. And this is a team that you can't disrespect. Montes has a very explosive Laura, and like they were discussing, Panda is probably the premier Ken in the country, and then Robbie is Robbie. So, and I think they have an explosiveness to them that can close out this set. And we are going to see right now as we dive into game 1 of our final set of the day. It is Travis Styles versus Robbie Slar. Here we are in the Gfinity Elite Series. Let's see how this one goes, ladies and gentlemen.
There was a lot of smack talk before, Tom. There is electricity in the air, and Robbie is out for blood. I can see the look of determination on this man's face. And here we go into round number 1.
It's going to be exciting to see here. Now, Robbie said that out of the team, Travis is the one that he feels the best about the matchup-wise. Whoa, that little cross-up was weird.
That was a huge jump in. All right, Robbie already down to 50%. He's in big trouble. That stun meter is building. Travis trying to close this out with a perfect. And what? All right, he's not going to get a perfect just yet. And there's the stun.
Oh, he might.
Travis comes crashing through the doors of Gfinity Season 2 with a perfect.
Oh, not yet. Oh, I spoke too soon, but
that is it. A ghetto perfect on Robbie Slar here in game number 1. Robbie taking a moment to compose himself. Let's see if he can get around on the board here against Travis Styles.
That was unlucky. You see, he went for the jab there and he interrupted Travis Styles' fake pressure and then went for the powerbomb on the tick
great
throw.
block on the overhead. I like
but
it.
back throw, here we go. Oh, powerbomb. Let's go, Robbie.
Right.
Here comes the Alex pressure. Alex is a scary character in the corner. He just has to not let Travis escape.
Robbie's almost got that critical art on deck. He's got to pop that feature again. That rage shift.
no
to get the
anti-air.
damage on Travis. He's got to get that anti-air here on deck, like you said, Tom. Big jump in, but Travis is ready for it.
He went for the parry, and Travis read it and just went for the back throw instead.
All right, throws Robbie in the corner. Robbie's in trouble now. Great jump back, but it's a bit too late.
Oh,
my God, the parry on the dash. I like it. All right, Robbie, great block on the overhead as well.
Oh, he just gets caught, and that is... Oh, he drops it. Oh.
Robbie with a chance. He's still alive. Travis trying to close it out, waiting for Robbie to do something. He's got one round on the board already, and that is it. Travis closing it out convincingly against Robbie Sly in game number 1.
Yeah, it was a disappointing start for Robbie there, but he did have probably the highlight of the match at least. That parry on that rush.
That was a great parry on the edge rush.
That was ridiculous.
That is hard to see.
Yeah, that is a ridiculous read. There is no way that someone could do that without having a great anticipation of what your opponent is going to do or how they're thinking. So that was a great showing by Robbie there.
Can we just give him the game because of that?
No, I reckon just tack one on.
I feel like Alex is low tier enough that we can do that. All right, let's go and have a look at some of the highlights here. Travis taking out Robbie Sly in straight rounds convincingly here in the first game. Melbourne Order is now up 1-0 against the Brisbane Deceptors.
But I think
big
Robbie,
jump in, and wow, look at that cross up on the on the jump.
That caught me off guard, but that was really good noticing by Travis there, because he saw that he swapped sides, and Balrog being a charge character, Travis went for the target combo option instead of a normal combo because he wouldn't have had charge.
I wonder if that's Alex specific, and it looks like here Travis almost closing out with a perfect. Robbie just getting a squeak with that crouching jab, but it wasn't enough. Robbie Sly fighting out hard in this second game.
Yeah.
You'll see him shortly get that parry off the EX dash punch.
Oh, dude, that was so sick. That was great. Here it's coming in as
bang. That's fantastic.
Oh my lord.
Look, it gets such little damage off that read, unfortunately. But that's how you play with those. Great block on the overhead there, but this onslaught continues from Travis with that V trigger.
He drops a combo there and gives Robbie a chance, but then just sort of lays back a little bit. And this is a Travis that we know, this patient sort of style, just goes for the cheeky low. And that was a quick and decisive game 1 for Order.
Right, and it's going to be ROF versus Mont here in game number 2. Mont has got to redeem the Brisbane Deceptors from that crushing defeat in the first game by Travis Styles, but it is the seminal bad boy, the FGC himself, ROF.
Yes, it is.
He's up here ready to take on Mont, and Mont is a Laura player, one of the characters we rarely see in Street Fighter V at the pro level these days, Tom.
Yeah, but which is interesting because I think that she's a great tournament setting character. Or at least in a 1-2 setting and a 1-1 setting like the Elite Series is, because she has this shock factor where all she needs, funnily enough, she shoots out electricity, but she has this mix-up game that is just so dirty. But let's see if the bad boy himself, ROF, can contain it and stop the beast that is Mont in game 2 of this series.
All right, this is going to be a hard match for ROF. Mont knows how to play explosively in these 1-1s. I believe he had a record of 5-0 in Season 1 of Gfinity. Undefeated in Gfinity, the only player who went undefeated in Season 1 of Gfinity.
Yes. So let's see. Will that streak continue through? Oh, just gets hit by the chain.
Command grab. All right, goes with a straight throw. Mont opting to press no buttons at this point. He's only down about 20% so far. Can't punish on that sweep, unfortunately. And look at this dirty play from ROF. He's already got Mont down to 50%. Mont having some trouble blocking this onslaught.
Oh, back throw. Here we go. Here comes Laura.
Mont's got that V-trigger on deck now, that 3-bar V-trigger.
Nice.
Great 50-50 cross-up, but he's going to eat a punish for that. Are we going to see a command?
Another back throw.
Not just yet. Mont staying alive. Here comes the V-trigger.
Oh, gets hit by that one.
Very dangerous. Goes for the command grab, but sniffed out by ROF. He's got to make one more
he gets his meaty.
Oh, Mont's still in it. Mont's still in it. Mont.
Oh, what a read.
Oh, my goodness. And the command grab reads the V-reversal. I like it, Tom.
Oh, my lord. ROF was in such firm
control. Even ROF
there.
was smiling about that one.
I mean, ROF was in such firm control that round and then just started slipping a little bit. But here we go. Straight big jump in start for ROF there already.
Stuck in the corner here now with that banana and the overhead. And look at this command grab. All the dirty tricks are coming up now. And down to 80% now. He's just opting to back off.
Oh, it's the sweep. We're looking at a perfect here.
Oh my god, are we going to get it? He looked like he was going to get a perfect one, but Mont just came back so quickly. Mont's not dead yet. The banana peel working against him. We've got the cross up. Here comes Mont. V-trigger activation. This is big. My god, that was disgusting.
Oh, he blocked it. But no punish.
On the overhead, that could have been it. All right, opting to back off. Mont down to 5%. 64 seconds left on the clock. He's got V-trigger active. He's got to make something happen here now.
Yeah,
he can take this against Roth. This will be a massive upset, Tom.
Yeah, will be.
Big jump.
Jumping. What is it? Oh my lord, he did punish. What is happening? The banana, and there it is.
Medium punch.
ROF.
Fought him. Had Roth building a sigh of relief there.
He looked a little stressed out there. They don't say that very often.
All right, big opening swing from Roth. Goes for the EX headbutt.
No punish from Mont. Mont doesn't quite seem to know the punishes here against Birdie.
I don't think he was expecting an opening EX.
Oh my lord, you cannot sleep on those bananas. The banana in the can are honestly Birdie's best tool.
And Roth playing some Mario Kart here, throwing down those bananas. All right, Mont's out of the banana now.
Oh!
He gets started, but he whiffs the command grab. That's a big drop. Roth snipped that one out. He's 2 for 2 for snipping those.
He landed on the banana!
Oh, again with the banana. Big jump in from Mont. He hasn't quite got that V-trigger on deck yet. He's up to 2 bars now.
Oh, good little crouching heavy punch.
Crouching heavy punch, but he's got to be careful. ROF, he's got V-trigger on deck. He's going to activate very shortly, but here comes Mont.
Good read.
Again with the jump out and slippery Roth. He's just got out of the corner so well. Mont's in serious trouble. Here comes ROF, trying to take out Mont. All right, big standing heavy kick. Mont doesn't bite. Mont closing in on ROF now. ROF opts to back off and use the can. Doesn't go.
Oh,
delay, crouching short. He's not going to be able to close it out.
And one more hit. We'll do it.
Mont's not pressing a button. My goodness, I can't believe he didn't go for command grab.
I know. This time.
Oh, that's it. He's done it. I don't believe it, Tom. What a read. And ROF goes down.
Oh my lord. I have to give credit where credit is due. That was a nice little crouching.
And the look of despair. He has been put in his place, Tom.
That was a really nice little crouching heavy punch confirmed.
Wow. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Woo! Somebody clip that. That was a look of this. I've never seen him look so disappointed.
Reaction gift that.
Wow. Let's have a look at that replay there. That was. I think he's still trying to work out what happened.
Let's just dive into it before.
Let's have a look at that one. And look, ROF was playing so well in round number 1, and these filthy cross-ups. And I love the block on the overhead there. He saw that one coming a mile away. Right?
Yeah, no,
it wasn't enough.
He was in firm control for most of the matches, but Mont just playing Laura basically how she's supposed to be played, in that you can get hit for 2/3 of the round, but once you get that V trigger and you start moving, she is incredibly scary. Like, look at that the V skill dash to get in front of the fireball, and then you just fan grab. But the banana played a massive role in this match here too, as well.
And the comeback factor of Laura and the strength of this character in a 1-to-1, it's scary. Mont almost made a comeback here in this second round against ROF, which is nigh on impossible with any other character against a player of ROF's caliber. And you can see here ROF just trying to close out Mont here. There's the banana peel. He's had so much success with that, using it very effectively as a shield to get in. Just a standard frame trap there to close out that round. And he's got Mont here in the corner. And I tell you what, if it was any other player here stuck in the corner against ROF, it would be all over. And this crouching hard punch, ROF looked like he had it all down, and he's waiting for that can to get blocked. Mont is just refusing to press buttons here in the corner, and there's no overhead, no command grab, and the nerves of stealing this man
it's like
press
10
nothing
seconds
and just
of
wait.
Blocking. That was
and
great.
they're done. That's it. My goodness.
Nuts confirmed. I'm super impressed by Mont there, and I'm excited to see where he goes for the rest of the Elite
That is MVP
series.
level play, Tom. That is perfect.
And you know what else is perfect, Alex? Well, it's perfect time to reward you guys for sticking around and watching Street Fighter with us today. So if you would hop on to gfinity.incentloyalty.com and use the drop code on your screen, GSonicBoom, to collect and earn some nice currency. But keep in mind, guys, you've only got a small window, so jump to it now, and you won't miss out on the action because you can watch all of our broadcasts from the rewards website.
Fantastic, Tom. All right, let's get into the third match now. I believe it's 1-1 at the moment, isn't it, Tom? Brisbane versus the Melbourne All. The next match is going to be Bug versus Panda. Bug, of course, is one of the finest Ibuki players next to Sio in Oceania.
I believe Sio calls him number 1.
Number 1.
At this point.
Number 1 plays a very rago Ibuki. He's going up against Panda, one of the most solid and consistent Ken players in Australia. And like you said before, he likes to win with those consistent, solid playstyle, not off 1 or 2 reads. From a V-trigger, Ibuki.
Who? No, but then Panda also willing to take risks, which I don't think he mentioned, but he is willing to throw that Ragoness out there. Like he'll just throw out a Dragon Punch in neutral, which is a massive risk, but it's usually a calculated read.
All right, we're at 1-1 here. Brisbane Deceptors versus Melbourne Order. Bug has got to take out Panda if he wants to keep the Melbourne Order alive as the premier team here.
Yeah.
In the
nice little anti-air.
Elite Series.
Forward throw. Okay, it's Ibuki time. Oh, nice little check on the V skill from Panda.
He knows that Bug loves to press that V skill during the block strings.
Oh, the shimmy!
Anti-shimmy from Panda. Is he going to get a stun?
Stunned the
factor. We're going to see an overhead.
Oh, no!
That is going to be round number 1 almost. I think that's going to be it, Tom.
It might just be it. No!
Not just enough.
up.
One
Those
more
combos
hit.
can go on forever.
There
Just a
you
straight
go.
tick throw. Round number 1 to Panda. We could see the Brisbane Deceptors going up 2-1 over Melbourne Order, Tom.
I mean, nobody saw this coming except me. But it's...
You did, that's true.
But Panda is such a strong player, however, we cannot discount Bug. This is a Buki here. All she needs is to get going a little bit.
Oh, and a big jump in there. That's unlike Bug.
Yeah, that
He's
is, yeah.
going to take deep damage, and look at that, 40% already. Panda is turning up the volume now. Bug's in trouble. Sniffed out that V-Star.
Oh, nice DP.
Bug hitting the panic button there.
And then Panda hit the panic button.
Be a revert.
Oh, nice blocks
great block
on
the overhead.
Another one. Oh!
And look at these. Look at these. Commitment after commitment. That is unsafe. You cannot make that safe with the V2 activation. It's not going to be enough. It's going to go under. Great block from Panda again. And look at this defense from Panda. He's still alive. Very brave tech there. He knows that Bug likes to go for those throws and close them out. Panda clinging to life here in round number 2, Tom.
Yeah, let's not say this is over, ladies and gentlemen. This is still very much a match. Oh, nice round.
Oh, again.
Another one. Oh,
Panda.
Is he dead?
Panda. Hang on.
One more hit.
This could be that's it. Panda's got it. He's taken the Brisbane Deceptors in a startling lead over the Melbourne Order, Tom.
Oh, my Lord. What an exciting finish to that match.
I don't believe it.
Where we were discounting and saying, oh, this is a Buki's round, this is a Buki's round. But no, the courage and the strength from Panda there to pull that one out.
This man as a player, his fundamentals and the strength of his fundamentals in this game is he doesn't get enough credit for it.
No, that was I'm so impressed by that.
I'm speechless. And that empty jump throw in the corner was fantastic.
Yeah, that was an excellent option because he earlier in the set, which we will see in our highlights right here, started shimmying Bug and Bug was biting. So then Bug stopped teching.
Yes.
And Panda recognized this and then started going for throws instead. And that's how you play mind games at a high level in this game.
A real masterclass from Panda in how to condition your opponent to get them to do what you want them to do. And then
there's that shimmy. Excellent use of the shimmy there. And look at damage. And then the stun is a factor here. And then Bug just with an execution error. He got the standing light kick, but then accidentally dropped the combo. And look at this conversion from Panda right here. Look at this damage. That is absolutely maximum damage. Little tick throw, and that is the first round.
And it looked like it was all over for Panda here in the second round, but look at this defense here from Panda in the corner. Really stands to his credit as a fantastic player with great fundamentals. Tries to make it safe there, but that doesn't. Bug recognizes this, and it looks like it's all over for Panda here. And again, that solid defense from Panda blocks the 50-50 and the overhead and the jump in and the tech.
And then he just waits.
Not done yet.
He just waits and just be patient and then starts sort of sitting it out and seeing what Bug's going to do, reacting to what Bug's going to do, waits for Bug to be passive and then makes his move.
And look at this. Despite being on like 5% health, he still manages to do these solid whip punishes. Gets Bug back in the corner.
And then
empty jump into throw to take the game to a well-deserved win. And he pops off.
Pop off.
That's what I like to see.
The patented Panda pop off. I remember a GIF was going around on Twitter of Panda doing that exact same thing in season 1.
I think he has been gifted a few times, and I think he has a few more up his sleeve. Before we go to the next game, the electricity is in the air. We're going to head to Luke and Visna for the debrief. Take it away, guys.
Yeah, Deceptors in fine form there. This is how it's been playing out so far, guys. So, as you can see, Travis Styles hard out of the gate there, but then Mont and Panda both showing fine form here in the final match of play today. Stick around for the rest of the match after the break. Now, if you'd like to be part of the audience and witness gaming at its absolute best in Australia, jump on the Hoyts Gfinity's website and grab a ticket and come on down next week. We'd love to have you. We'll be back with the rest of this match after this. Deceptors taking on Melbourne Order. Don't go anywhere.
Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.
Let's make it Jack.
Drink it through with Dare iced coffee.
Like it's nothing. Come on, better kick. Let's go. Good job, team. Good job.
Welcome back to Street Fighter V, brought to you by Dare Ice Coffee and Astro Headsets. We're in the middle of an intense match between the Deceptors and Melbourne Order. This next matchup is a big one, right, Krishna?
Yeah, totally. Because I think, like I said, this is the perfect start for the Deceptors. They really needed Mont to take out at least one game. Mont or Robbie, just to take one game, steal it away. And then Panda needs to step up, take both of these games. He needs to be what Travis is for the Order, really. And it's going to be interesting to see who's going to take out this next game.
Do you think he's got Travis Styles on the ropes?
It's hard to say. I can't actually call. You're going to ask me which way do I think it's going to go, and I'm just going to go, I have no idea. I honestly don't know how this is going to go.
All right, let's get into it, guys. We'll see how it's going to play out. Back to you, Tom and Alex. It's time to fight.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from the Hoyts Gfinity Esports Arena, and we are here for the Gfinity Elite Series, and we are now in an electrifying final set of Day 2 of the Elite Series, and we are up next with Travis Styles and Panda, and I believe that they said that this would be the most important match of the setup.
I have to agree, Tom. It is the most important match, especially for the Brisbane Deceptors. If Panda can continue his play from the previous game, he will go up 3-1 over the Melbourne Order. But if there is anyone that can take Melbourne Order to 2-2 with the Brisbane Deceptors, it is the man with the shorts, Travis Styles. And he's got, you can see Boxer on your screen, locked in there. He's ready to go.
There it is.
Panda
Exactly
looking to continue his momentum from the previous game. We're going into game number 4. Travis Styles versus Panda. Brisbane Deceptors are up 2-1 over the Melbourne Order. And Tom, you predicted this.
I thought this was what was going to happen. I saw the upset coming. I saw it in the stars, Alex. And I think Krisner is right. This is the key match. This is the one that matters the most.
I think Rock's going to murder his entire team if they drop this.
I think
so. It's up to Travis. All right, let's get into it. Panda with a strong opening. He's working.
Oh, no check there, and big punish for Panda.
All right, he's pushing Travis now back towards the corner. Still not a hit from Travis yet.
Ooh, nice use of the EX
for perfect. All right, there's the run. All right, Travis finally putting a hit on the board. Both players looking very intense as they play. Travis has got V-Trigger on deck. Almost.
Yeah, no, there's both players here playing a very aggressive style opening, and I think that's how they know that's going to be how they counter each other.
Both of these players playing so well today, Tom. All right, he's got Panda now in the corner, almost stunned. Oh, and a big lead from Panda. Travis opts to press the and wakes up with the 3-frame into the target combo. Panda nodding his head. He should have seen that one coming.
That
Round one to Travis Styles.
That was good recognition from Travis there. He saw Panda overcommitted the run and then just punished him for it. That was not a risk. That was a smart decision from Travis Styles.
And this is a difficult matchup for Ken. He's got so much kinetic energy, Travis. Especially the horizontal with Boxer. This is a difficult matchup. There's the cross-up, but it's blocked by Travis. Here comes Panda with the neutral jump.
That was weird, yeah. He switched sides all of a sudden.
All right, Travis turning up the volume now. Panda in the corner, 77 seconds. There's the overhead. Both players are roundabout out of meter. Panda's got that one bar ready there.
Oh my
Two
God,
throw checks in a row. Panda is on point today. The defense from this man, I like it. Both players about even on life now, but Travis has got that one round up. Panda's in trouble. Travis trying to inch forward. Panda not giving an inch.
No, he's not. Oh, that's bad.
That's going to cost him a lot. That's unfortunate.
Oh, drops the combo though. Travis didn't get as much damage as he could have out of that one, but gets it back anyway.
Panda in serious trouble. This could be. Oh, again. All right, Panda trying to make something happen now. Empty jump goes low. Travis opts to back off. Here comes Travis trying to close it out. Big trigger active.
Oh, we just DP'd him.
What is going on? Can he close this one out, Tom? I can't believe it.
I cannot tell you right now, Alex. Oh, great.
Panda. Hang on. Panda's almost got this. Panda trying to make something happen. Doesn't get the punish with a standing light kick. Overhead block. That's it. It is now one round apiece. Panda is on fire, Tom.
What a showing from this man, Alex.
Wow.
What a showing. That was it.
Wow.
That was a top tier showing of how to play defense in Street Fighter.
I'm speechless, Tom. We are getting our money's worth here today. All right, Travis, not happy after dropping that last round. I wouldn't be happy either.
No.
But here comes Panda. All right, he's going to get thrown for his troubles. I think Panda's got the momentum here, Tom. I have to say.
But Travis is doing a very good job.
He's a bit rattled, I have to say.
Oh, I don't know. Well, Travis is fighting back rather well now, though, and has sort of slowed the game back down to the pace that Travis wants to play.
All right,
and as I say that, here comes Panda.
Panda pushing forward with the run, trying to get a whiff punish with that back heavy kick. Misses the cross-up DP. That's okay. He's going to get in the corner. Travis going for the straight throw now. Trying to get the crush counter. Panda doesn't bite. Panda just opting to block it out here in the corner. He knows he's got V-trigger on deck. We can explode here.
There it is.
And here we go.
I like that
V-reversal from Travis.
Very, very smart.
Good neutral jump. Panda with a huge life deficit. What's up?
What just happened? I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that before either. That's the second time we've been surprised here today. All right, he's got Travis in the corner. He knows Travis.
Good anti-air. Goes for the neutral jump.
No, big counter. This is going to be big damage. Panda with a chance now. Big frame trap. Here comes Travis. All right. Travis doesn't complete. He just got it. Is that it? That's it. Travis takes it. My goodness. What a close game.
That was an absolute heart stopper, Alex. Oh my goodness gracious me.
I honestly thought Panda had that one, but the power of the V-trigger from Balrog and, of course, Travis's trademark stellar play.
Yeah.
And he's breathing a sigh of relief there. He knows that was a close game, but very well played. We're at 2-2 now, ladies and gentlemen. Brisbane Deceptors versus the Melbourne Order, and I have to say that's 2 more games than I thought Brisbane Deceptors was going to get done.
You are too harsh on these boys. That was an incredible showing.
The Brisbane Deceptors are a fantastic team, but Melbourne Order were the champions from Season 1, and I feel they were playing so well last season, and they're continuing to play very well this season.
They are. But this was an excellent showing from both players, as we're going to see in this round here highlight. But the first round was pretty much a wash for Travis.
Yes.
And this round here just shows why Travis is such a strong Balrog player. He just has this control on the tempo that Panda was struggling to get a grasp on. You can see, and that use of the EX screw upper to catch the anti-air.
Yeah, catch the jump back in the corner. Yeah. That is the Travis special. As soon as you jump back in the corner, he's going to hit you with that EX screw up here. Huge life deficit from Panda here. Look at this.
It all starts with a big Rago DP. Absolutely amazing stuff from Panda here. And then the back throw. But he needs one more conversion here. This is a fair, honest play. He has to outplay Travis right now, and he just waited. Look at this.
Great block on the overhead. He knew that one was coming. All Balrog players, most of them like to close out with that overhead.
Yeah,
and he was doing so well in round number 3 here. But this matchup for Ken is so difficult. Fantastic defense from Panda, and that cross-up.
That was weird.
I have to go home and lab that, Tom. I haven't seen that before.
That was weird. That's something that's new to all of us, Alex.
And he's got Travis stuck here in the corner. Great air-to-air. Okay, gets him with a crush counter here. It looks like he might be able to get something started. But Travis, with a great defense on wake up there, just closes out with the standard V-trigger
into activation.
And there it is, and the pressure here, and that is that. The power of Balrog. Travis closes it out for the Melbourne Order. We are now at 2 games apiece here, and Robbie Slar is back in the hot seat.
Yep.
He's going up against ROF, the Menace, the Madman. And I tell you, if Melbourne Order loses this, ROF's going to murder his entire team, I think.
Yeah, I do. I agree with that, Alex. But at the same time, I do not want to be the man playing against ROF right now.
I do not want to play against ROF.
I can promise you that he is angry and he is motivated. This round, Robbie's going to have to bring his A game on this one because this one's going to be a hard one. And this is probably the most important game in the series other than Game 7. So let's see who takes it. Will it be ROF? Will it be the Deceptors captain, Robbie Slar? Let's see how we go in this fourth and very important game. Let's get into it.
All right, game number 5, ROF versus Robbie Slar. If Robbie can take this, this will be a massive upset. Of course, this won't be enough for Melbourne Order. If they do take this game, they'll go up 3-2. Let's get into it. It's now 2 games apiece. And Robbie Slar's got his work cut out for him. Great block on the jump in. No anti-air from Robbie Slar.
Oh, great use of the
and I think
chain.
he was expecting a command there.
Command grab.
Here comes a command grab from ROF. We're going to see it. Yeah, he knew he was going to get a second one there. No respect there from ROF. And Robbie's coming out swinging.
Yeah, I like that choice, though. He's shown ROF that he's not going to get away with any fake stuff.
All right, 50% now. Robbie in serious trouble. He's found himself in the corner. He needs to do some blocking. Great confirm.
Oh, nice confirm.
Here comes Robbie Slar.
Oh!
Command grab.
Oh,
Great
the parry.
Here comes Robbie. Robbie. Robbie! He's on fire, Tom!
Oh my lord!
What just happened? It was too fast!
I don't know! Okay.
Robbie!
Clip that, I need to see the replay. Let's get into the second round quickly.
Alright, RF's not happy with that.
That was wild!
Wow! Alright, Robbie, could this be Robbie's moment here? Alright,
good use of the stomp.
I like the EX stomp there. And if Robbie can get some of that madness happening with Alex's V-trigger too. Who said Alex was low tier? I tell you what.
Uh-oh, jumps on the banana. That's not good news for Robbie.
This is not up to good.
Oh, good
on the dolphin dive. Here comes the V-trigger activation. It's Robbie time. Tom doesn't go for the reset.
No.
ROF hits with the V reversal. Robbie's in trouble now in the corner. Rob's backing off. He's not going for it.
I fully agree with ROF's game plan there. This frantic style is benefiting Robbie so greatly right now.
I think ROF is a little bit rattled. Robbie. Alright, Robbie pushing forward now. Oh my goodness. ROF's looking a little bit. Okay, here comes
here we go. Command grab.
Alright, it's not going to be enough. He's got one more read after this.
Set up. Oh!
Straight throw. Can Robbie do it?
Oh no!
And a big risk from ROF, but it pays off.
Oh my lord, and we're going to the final round of this match too.
He bet the farm on that one.
Oh lord, that would have been massive.
That would have been amazing. All right. All right, Robbie swinging. Activation. Robbie throwing caution to the wind. He wants to take this. This is Robbie's.
Gets hit by the dive. What's the option here? Oh, goes for sweep. No punish from Robbie though.
Oh, all right. Back to the neutral game.
Slow down. We've got to catch our breath. Please go.
Great jump in. No anti-air from Roff. He's concentrating on that.
Oh, good whiff punish.
Great whiff punish there. Robbie, he needs to get that V-trigger on deck.
Oh,
all right, great jab to stop the dolphin dive. Here comes ROF. He's jump.
Oh, my lord.
All right. Robbie backing off. Right, here we go. Oh, big crush counter. Here comes Robbie. He's got the V-trigger on deck. Okay.
Oh my god, that jab chat.
Here comes ROF. He's going to go for command. Straight confirm into the EX bullhorn. Robbie, don't do this to me. Robbie, come on, Robbie.
Oh, we passed it.
That's it.
Robbie.
Oh my god. Robbie with the drop of the century. Oh my goodness. Robbie. He got away with murder.
Oh, Robbie.
Oh no, Robbie.
Robbie, no. Yeah, give the man a round of applause for that. That was a great.
That has got MVP written all over. I know I've said it so many times today.
Stop stealing his job.
No more. They're telling me I can't say that. I'm not allowed to say that. It's a business job. My God.
Let's look at these highlights. I can't even remember what happened, Alex.
I think this first round for Robbie was just. What happened? Was this where Robbie came back in the first? I can't remember now. I can't remember.
It looked just like a regular old Alex Birdie match.
It was madness. I mean, we've seen plays here at Gfinity where players turn it up into 5th gear, but this was 6th gear from Robbie, right?
He just ripped the gear stick out and threw it out the door.
That's right. Just threw it out the window.
Look at his parry, and then the raid on the
this was it, and the stun here with the command grab. My goodness, somebody. I mean, it's clipped already. Just. That is some stellar Alex play there from Robbie.
He just turned on the juice, something chronic, and I just...
Like, I've never seen ROF so lost.
No, I haven't either. I've never seen it.
I thought he looked lost in that last game where he lost.
That's what I thought too. And then I've never seen Robbie play so active. And then he was so close twice in a row.
So close. He broke our hearts, Robbie, but I'm sure he'll be back.
I think this is a good lesson for him though, because this is a very different play style to what we normally see from Robbie. And look at how successful it was.
The potential in this man. It only took a whole season of Gfinity, but now we've seen it. We've seen the magic this man has in his heart. I can't watch it. I can't watch it.
I don't want to see that again.
It's too sad.
I don't want to see that
sad.
again.
Oh god.
That was incredible.
Even. All right. That is the most evil laugh I have ever seen. He's still smiling. Get him off. Get him off the screen.
He's acting like a villain here, but he's going to come find. He's going to come find Robbie later and give him a big hug. Because I tell you what, that man deserved that win something fierce.
All right.
And I am absolutely in stitches, Alex. And we've still got more games.
We've still got more games. All right. So, Melbourne Order is up 3-2
yes.
over the Brisbane Deceptors. So now the Melbourne Order is on match point against Brisbane Deceptors. Buck has to take this over Mont. It's up to Mont to avenge Robbie. And I tell you, Tom, I hope Mont can avenge him here today.
I'm still not ready.
I'm not ready, Tom. I'm not ready. We need to go to a break. But there's no breaks here. There's no break.
We're all motion now. All right, let's get into this.
The train is rolling. All right, let's get into it.
Now, I think that Bug will deal with Mont fairly well and deal with Laura fairly well, as Bug is pretty much the Australian master of mix-up degeneracy, I'd say.
Yeah, see, it's a mix-up degeneracy. That's really the word for Ibuki, isn't it? But I tell you what, speaking of degeneracy, Mont is full of mix-ups himself.
Yeah,
and look at these blocks on the overhead. Bug is ready for it. Look at this defense.
It's
the
a great
V-trigger from from Mont is on deck. He's got the... It doesn't look like he's going to get a chance to use it, Tom.
No, and then...
All right, here comes Mont. This big chance. That health is going to melt away. All right, no command press just yet.
Check those
going for a frame trap back. He's overhead. And that is the third time that round. He blocked that overhead. He was ready, and then he was ready
again. And now we are ready for Order to take this out 3-2 if Bug gets the next one. Ooh.
All right. Let's go, Bug, looking to close this out for the Melbourne Order.
Oh, Lord. I'm glad this match is a little bit slower. All right, so now Mont going in and taking his time a little bit, trying to get Bug in a scenario where he can get a hit into that EX. That's right.
Mont needs to find out a way to open up Bug without resorting to the overhead because he blocked it every single time.
Yeah.
And Mont's health is melting away here in the corner, catching the edge of that EX kunai. There's the throw, and that's it. Bug has done it. GG to the Melbourne Order. They've taken it over the Brisbane Deceptors. 4-2.
That was a very, very, very clean game from Bug there. That's textbook how to beat Laura.
That was a clinic, Tom.
He just didn't buy into the mix-ups. He just sat there and he played his game. He stayed nice and calm, and he just took his time and made sure that things went his own way. And I really liked that play from Bug.
I tell you what, even though the score was 4-2, it feels like it was much closer.
Feels like it was 9-10.
9-10, that's right. The Brisbane Deceptors put up such a good fight today. Well played to all the players, but the Melbourne Order just etching it out there.
Oof, my lord.
And I tell you what, it was a lot closer than 4-2.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the replays here, the highlights. Before we sign off here today, Tom, and Bug just putting on a clinic here of Ibuki, not just unable to get anything started, just trying everything in the book, the frame traps, the overhead, the Bug just so ready. He said, I've watched you play earlier today, I've seen all your tricks from before.
And then, like, Bug just playing Ibuki to a T as well, but without the V-trigger. He wasn't playing a mix-up game that we were talking about before. He just sort of sat there and waited and let Mont kill himself. Like, there's patience here. And then the interrupt on another overhead, and cash money, that is around.
And that's how you got to deal with Laura. Just stick to your guns, don't press any buttons, just sit there and let Mont wear himself out, and just couldn't get an opening there against Bug. And there's Bug going for the EX Kuno, trying to get something started, not getting a good enough punish there. And you can see he'd all go downhill after this jump in here from Bug, just owning the neutral game here.
Yeah, it was just extremely firm control from Bug, and this is a seasoned veteran here. Someone that's dealt with Laura's before in lots of tournament games and just knows how to deal with this kind of mix-up potential. And that was a clean 2-0 to close out the series for the Melbourne Order, which is the exact opposite of what the rest of the series was, Alex.
That's right. What a week we had here at the Gfinity Elite Series. And I tell you what, Tom, we got our money's worth today. Make sure you tune in next week, and we're going to head over to Luke and Visna for the debrief. Take it away, guys.
Take it away, boys.
My goodness, it's only week 2, guys. It's only week 2 of season 2, and it is popping off right now. I mean, it was so close just then. This is how it played out. Final scores for that match. It was so close. But yeah, Melbourne Order just holding their dominance, as we can see there, went back and forwards, but down to the end there. ROF, everyone's hearts was on their sleeve. It was so close. Robbie Slar almost took him out, and then Bug just closing it out there. We have sitting at the desk with us Travis Styles. Now, look, we didn't get the... No offense, it's great to have you, but this is the second week where it's like we don't get the captain yet.
He's biding his time, waiting for week 3, where he's going to explode onto the scene.
We talk about showing disrespect up there, but we're not even getting respect at the desk.
I don't think he wants to come on here unless he wins both games. That
it's just outrageous the way Order's behaving this season. Now, Travis Styles, were you at all stressed during that Panda match, be honest?
Not at all during my match. Mainly during the ROF versus Robbie match, I was quite stressed because Robbie actually had it won, and then he dropped his combo, and then RF won.
So are you saying you had a moment where you didn't have full faith in your captain?
I thought we were done. I thought it was definitely going to go to Game 7.
You hearing that, ROF? He doesn't believe in you, mate. Yeah, that's right. But mutiny amongst the team.
We got a lucky break, I think.
Oh, over to you, Krishna.
Well, I'm kind of speechless, actually, after that. Did you hard, because we were all watching it down here, we saw that bullhead go off, and we're actually, I got to say it a little bit later on, but well...
Is that the one he parried, or...?
That's the one where he just activated V-Trigger as a punish.
Yeah.
Because we were just watching it on screen, and I'm like, he's dead, isn't he? Oh, yeah.
I think ROF just goes a bit like, he thinks his opponent's a bit too lesser and goes too hard on them, like just tries to meme on them.
Are you hearing this criticism, ROF, coming from one of your subordinates? I'd pull this into line, mate. This is outrageous. Hey, let's get into analysis right now. Let's keep talking through this match.
Well, we are going to watch that match, the Robbie versus ROF match, and the first one we're going to look at is when Robbie just made some amazing parries, and I don't really have any analysis. I just want to watch it because it was 2 or 3 very, very solid
There was a
reads.
nice check by Robbie there against the command grab, which is fake off of the dash in.
What do you think this matchup? I know you don't play either of these characters, but...
Yeah, I really have no idea. I'm just going to say 5-5, but Alex is pretty bad, as we all know, so probably
most
Birdie
people would
favors.
say Alex is a worse version of Birdie, but as we can see here, his trigger is still one of the best in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
And just how he reads
the thing with RF was, like, as he was playing, I could see him reel back, like, thinking, like, what Robbie had done was stupid. So and then Robbie would do, like, a dash in after, and he wouldn't be ready for the dash in to, like, check it, so he just got to get hit.
Well, here was the final moments of that game, pretty much the deciding game that ended up being, and you know, it really looked like Robbie was going to take it. It was a beautiful command grab, and this was I can't actually use it. It's a big D read afterwards that ROF made right there.
Yeah, it should have been dead.
Yeah, it should have been dead. Any single combo, any single thing, and
heartbreaking for the Deceptors, but looks like they're just not going to win a game the whole season, like I said. Their only chance just then, and it's gone.
It's gone. We almost saw a bit of heart in there. Almost.
Maybe against Raw. Maybe they have a chance against Raw.
So you're smack talking at the same time. I love that. Hey, it's time to find out who the Astro MVP is for that match.
Me?
You cheeky bugger. Righto, who is it, Krishna? You're stressed, bro. Are you all right? You with us? Who is it? Who's getting the points?
So 1 point.
1 point for Robbie.
1 point we'll give
for
for Robbie.
effort. I
actually would. Bont also on his return debut, we weren't sure how he was going to do, and he actually did pretty well.
Hey,
but Travis called it. It is Travis for a second week running.
MVP sitting right at the desk.
Like I said on the desk just before that game started, you really need to have that one person in your team that can guarantee you the 2 points. At the moment, Panda is that for Deceptors, Deimos is that for the Raw, and Travis has been doing it well for Order. He did it last season, and he's going to be doing it again this season. It's a really nice win. Again, you looking to go undefeated?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe tough against Chiefs, but we'll see. I think so.
Congratulations, Travis Styles. You're the MVP for that match. Thanks to Astro headsets, including the new A40 and A50, which we are all using right here at the Gfinity Elite Series. Right, this is where the standings are for all the teams after week 2 of play. Melbourne Order sitting pretty at the top with Melbourne Avant, both on 6 points. Sydney Chiefs just behind him. Perth Grand 0 on 3 points. And Deceptors 0 points. I mean, can we just give some points to Robbie Slar? Can we just give him some? I'll talk about that with the peeps after. Sydney Raw also on 0 points. That's the standings. So right now we're going to check in with Ash, Tom and Alex for what their magic moments of this week were. So good, man.
So good.
I think for me personally, it was Chopper's showing as his first week on set as the lone New Zealander on the set for this season, actually. And he's come in with a bang, and he just absolutely washed everybody in front of him, and it was super impressive, and I was really happy with how he performed. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, look, we can see here as well the match here between Space Ghost and Shenkan, and this was way back in game number 1. You can see here Space Ghost with this amazing comeback here in the third round against Shenkan. He had such a life deficit. It was about 60 or 70%, Tom.
Yeah,
and he just made it work.
That comeback was impressive. It was super impressive, and I think that just shows to how solid and how hard Space Ghost has been working.
Yeah.
That was insane, but I've got to say my magic moment was Space Ghost in this moment here when he won against Shenkan. That was so divine. And what I love about this game is it could look like it's all over by a fingernail of hell.
Yeah.
And yet they come back swinging. Let's check it out. I hope they've got it. It's so good to watch. Please. No, they're leaving us waiting.
Just had it live
They're leaving us
TV.
waiting. Okay, no,
All right,
that's
well,
not going to be able to see. We'll just have to live with the memory.
Let's talk about Robbie Slough. I think he was. I think he stole the show today, and he broke all our hearts. But he'll be back next week, and make sure you watch him next week.
If you see Robbie in the street, just give him a big hug. I think
Give him a hug from all of us.
I think he's earned it.
Yeah, it was such a great day today, guys. Thank you so much. Back to you, Luke.
What a huge second week. Very exciting time, Season 2 of the Gfinity Elite Series. Here's what the overall points tally looks like after the second week of play. This is the combined totals from CSGO, Rocket League and Street Fighter that were played this weekend here at the Hoyts Gfinity Esports Arena. As you can see, Melbourne Order and Melbourne Avant, both Melbourne teams on 6 points. Perth Ground Zero and Sydney Chiefs both on 4. And then Deceptors and Raw down the bottom. But it's still only week 2. And as we've seen across all the games, there is form from all the teams, even if the points don't show it. So it's definitely up for grabs. Now, these points will be tallied up throughout the season. And of course, the team with the most points will win the Club Championship Trophy and the sweet, sweet cash. Right. Here are the broadcast times for next week's games. As you can see right there, we have CSGO Saturday 3 p.m. Sunday, we are back with Rocket League at 11 a.m. and then Street Fighter at 4 p.m. So you can watch that all online or come in into the room and watch the live shows because we love having you here. It's an awesome time. Now, if you can't make it to Sydney, you can catch it all live on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. So get on your favourite delivery device and don't miss any of the Gfinity Elite Series. Now, remember, you at home can also be in with a chance to win the all-new Alienware M15 laptop. It's the thinnest and latest 15-inch Alienware gaming notebook ever. Visit our website, gfinityesports.com.au, where you'll find many, many ways to enter. My goodness, what a huge week 2. It just keeps getting bigger. It keeps leveling up. This season is hotting up. And next week, Melbourne Order will take on Perth Ground Zero in a repeat of last season's grand final. But for now, on behalf of myself, my co-host Ashley Wells, the wonderful Krishna, our legendary casters Tom and Alex, and myself, Mr. Luke Joseph Ryan, you guys have been absolutely wonderful. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming in. Wonderful audience here, all the wonderful crew who works here. We'll see you next week.